Well, hello everyone. Hello. Hopefully the comments went by. Hey Drew. Hey Pokey. Glenn. How are you? Glenn Stir. Hey Seem the Meme. How are you doing? Hopefully the music went okay. At least I think it did. At least I think it did. How's everyone doing? I know this is a special 2 p.m. stream. I know. We usually don't stream this early, but I tell all of my guests I'm extremely flexible and I tell them whenever you're ready, whenever you're free, we are going to do the stream. And of course, we have our biggest EX collector here. He owns probably one of the biggest EX collection, which I want to ask why. So I'm pretty excited. I know it's a Saturday stream at an early afternoon. So, anyways, with no further introduction, I'm going to let you guys, I'm going to introduce Hisoka. Let me see. There you go. How are you? Oh, how are you?
Oh, there we go.
There you are.
Good, good. I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm going to give you the floor about right now and let us know
All
about
right.
yourself, and you're all set.
Whew. Um, so I'm Hisoka. I go by Mike sometimes. I've been collecting since about 2012, collected all the way up until 2017. I sold quite a few stuff. I'm kind of known for collecting the EX series, but also I sold everything off, and part of the story is I ended up buying like a sports car, and one of those stories of what not to do when you sell everything off. So since then, I was going to school, I was playing Pokemon in the meantime. A huge Pokemon fan, playing Pokemon Go, doing community days, walking my dog out there, playing Sun and Moon. So I left the hobby for a while, but I was always part of Pokemon, and Pokemon's always been a part of my life. And during the pandemic, like a lot of folks, I decided to get back into collecting. And so I used to be the biggest EX collector. Hopefully, one day I can rebuild the collection to that same level. But little by little, I've been kind of documenting the process of regaining the EX series collection that I sold previously. And just kind of here to talk about different things with, strategizing, just low pop cards, kind of trends and things like that, and tips and tricks overall. So that's kind of my story. And if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I will do my best to try to help you out with your collecting journey.
Thank you so much. I start off all my stream with all my guests with almost the same question, almost, but this one's definitely the same. It will always be the same. Pick a starter: Bulbasaur, Charmander, or
Ooh,
Squirtle.
it's got to be Charmander, even though I know that's a bad choice.
Oh, Bulbasaur. Us Squirtle's actually been winning. So, favorite
Ah,
first gen Pokemon.
oh God, Gyarados.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Favorite player. I apologize. I apologize for that. Favorite
Favorite.
graded card that you own.
Let's see. So favorite graded card would actually be PSA 10 Team Trinitar EX from Unseen Forces. My favorite Pokemon from my favorite set. So favorite
I
card.
see. Well, I guess you answered the next question. Favorite EX card that you own.
Yeah.
So you did mention this. I wanted to ask, name a card that you regret selling.
Who card that I regret selling? So I guess I could preface it in two ways. One would be card that I regret selling because it'd be hard to acquire. And then just one I regret selling just because it's gonna be expensive, but I regret selling PSA 10 Rayquaza Gold Star would be the card I regret selling the most, just because that was my first, I did my first PSA submission. That was my first card. And when I got that submission back, I think it's on my YouTube channel a long, long time ago, but I did the 15 card Collectors Club submission. And it was an absolutely insane, PSA returns with the Latios Gold Star, Rayquaza, like a reverse hollow Charizard Crystal, regular shining Charizard PSA 10. Just, I mean, ridiculous, just the amount of cards there. And that got me hooked. And I remember running up and down the house like a kid on Christmas, just jumping through the house and just yelling and screaming, just kind of the reaction you see from most Poketubers, but at least I feel mine was genuine. And yeah, that's the card I regret selling most. And the one I regret selling because it'd be hard to acquire would be the Torchic from Team Rocket Returns. That gold star is the
Oh
lowest.
yeah. Oh yeah. That's a very covenant card. Oh yeah. Okay. So favorite and least favorite evolutions.
Ooh, I'd have to say Jolteon. I just wouldn't use it, and it wasn't a very good electric type for me. And then favorite would probably be Espeon.
Nice. So there you go. There's three people that I bought on the stream that named Jolteon. Squeak would murder me if he heard that. So I like
Ooh,
that.
yeah.
Do you play any of the Pokemon games?
So I do play Pokemon Go. Or I haven't really played it in a long time, but I do play Pokemon Go, and I do have a lot of the games. Right now, I believe I was on Ultra Sun and Moon, and I've transported all of my shinies and all of my event Pokemon because I've done the event since 2013. So I've kept all of my events on Pokemon Bank, and that's where I last left it off was shiny hunting for legendaries in the Ultra Wormholes. So that's the I do play games, and that's where I was last when I stopped.
Gotcha. Any sealed Pokemon products?
Other than this, other than these like ETBs and stuff like that, uh,
Gotcha. We all have our niche, and your niche is the EX series. So absolutely. And the last question: what other trading cards that you play or collect?
what other? Let me see. Let me grab something here. So what I play or will collect would be, let's see, try to get on camera. Would be these Marvel Flair Retro. These are numbered cards, kind of like the sports ones, and so I collect Hulk and a few other ones from this series. And then lastly, I collect Final Fantasy. So I guess I play games, but I haven't played anything since 7 to 10. So those are my side collections right there.
Gotcha. I'm gonna hop back in. I forgot to tag the video, so I'm gonna go start tagging the video while you answer the first question. But before I do, I always do my shout out. I'm back. There you guys go. There is your semi favorite host. I always use semi favorite host because sometimes I do. I'm pretty sure I get on their nerves.
Yeah.
There we go. There's my mod SRR. Ooh, how do I pronounce this name? Very nice. Welcome to the stream. I think very nice. Please let me know how to pronounce your name. There's Hefe. There's Connor. Hey, Drew. Hey, there you go. There's Wheels the Coast. Fetish. There you go. I'm going to start tagging the stream. And you guys, it's me. Oh, Rock Pokemon. There's Connor. There you go. Hey.
Man,
Hey,
look at
you
that
guys.
photo.
We have him on the stream, you guys. Not hard to find. So I'm going to start tagging the stream. So I'm pretty excited to get this going. Let me go here. Welcome, Connor. Connor's actually, I've noticed that he mentioned that he watches me, so I was very honored. I was like, really? Really? You guys, and this is a live Q&A, so this is your chance to ask Hisoka all the fire. And he said he bought fire. So, and he did. I saw some of the cards. So I'm going to go hop into the question. Can't stay long. There you go. Sorry to hear that. No problem about that. So, Wizard of the Coast got the first question, but I'm going to hop onto you so I can tag the live stream real quick.
All right.
From a 1 to 10, 1 energy raw 10 and unlimited trophy were our EX cards. Raw seal, I have no clue about EXs. I think that's your great opportunity to showcase your collection.
All right. So from 1 to 10, I like how you labeled it from energy to trophy. And that was actually a good catch on reading the clue part. I was looking at that. I was like, how do you read that? And you just, I don't know. I meant that went over my head. Let's see. So I would say EX cards are, if we're looking at trophies at 10, and then you're looking at first edition base, probably at around, other trophies probably around 9, and then first edition base somewhere around 8. I would say, where are EX cards? And what do you mean by where are they? Raw sealed wise. Do you mean price wise, rarity? I don't know if you want to clarify that.
He probably means both. Or
Okay.
she. I apologize. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably means both.
I'd say they're harder to find. Graded, they're harder to find. Raw, they are probably harder, if not the same difficulty. Sealed would be on the level of first edition base set, probably, just to find. Now, I don't know if the numbers are quite the same. There's probably a lot of them out there. but the issue is a lot of them are also locked up in collector hands. And so while there's a lot of them out there, the chance of finding one for sale is probably pretty low. So I would put it at least below first edition base and kind of around first edition Neo Destiny, things like that. So 7, 8 would be where I would put it.
Very nice. Very nice. Do you by chance have any of the gold star at all?
I have one that I'm paying off. That's all I can say about it. So that's where I'm at right now with the gold stars. I do not have any. I ended up selling it for this card. So I sold the Celebi PSA 10, used the funds from that, and purchased this card. So,
Oh, very nice.
Celebi's like $2 or $3 grand, and this is now 12 grand. So,
so what makes what? Okay, so I just want to double check the Wi-Fi, make sure. So what makes it so attractive, like to you with the EX series?
Honestly, it all kind of happened by circumstance. You know, like I mentioned before, the story of kind of like me getting into it. I was getting out of the military, and you know, I had a foot injury, and I had a lot of free time, so I was just looking at Pokemon, and it just kind of just happened to happen. And you know, kind of coming to this card right here. This card is a $12,000 card, $10,000 plus card at this point. There was one that sold for 2,500 on the UK because the person that listed it incorrectly. So sometimes you can find deals on other sites. You know, you have ebay.com, then you have like .uk, you have the German ones. And so searching through those sites were where I found the Rayquaza Gold Star that got a PSA 10. You know, all three of those sets, Team Rocket Returns, Deoxys, and Fire Red Leaf Green. All EXs and nearly all Gold Stars got PSA 10. And I found those looking through the German website. So hopefully that's a clue for some of you all to look through the other websites, because some of those cards are only listed on those sites. And if you look through it, you'll find it. But it just, honestly, it's just circumstance. I found those cards. They graded 10, and I was super excited. And they honestly just had a lot of my favorite Pokemon, which was Gen 2, basically, and then a little bit of Gen 3 and a little bit of Gen 1. So it was just circumstances that I just fell in love with it. I got super lucky with the graded returns, and I felt like I hit a gold mine. I just kept finding these collections, and I was picking them up, complete sets, you know, lots of grandpas that were playing, or dads at the time, but grandpas now, that would buy complete sets and collections for their kids. And I just kept finding them because nobody was buying the EX series. They were always going after Wizards of the Coast. So I just kept finding it and just kept paying off with PSA 10. So I just kind of fell in love with the artwork and the chase of it, and I just enjoyed it, basically, kind of for the artwork and the style and everything like that.
Gotcha. Well, they're harder to get now, without a doubt, especially all the gold stars, which I have in that little binder right there. So they're that, yeah, I do have. And I was telling them, maybe I can get. Hey, there you go. Great tip. Hey, Stock. Stock's always funny. He always comes here and he says the same thing. And you know, thank you. We love you too. Well, I love you. He's really, really funny. I love all my audience. They're really funny. So why don't I bought you back because I told you I got a new platform, but why don't you tell us, and I apologize if you have to reminisce, but before we do, you know, I have another question, but I always put the audience questions first. So, you know, the questions are pretty fire. Would you like a set like EX Team Rocket Returns that go up a little bit dark compared to the lovely Pokemon? Ooh, that's such a good question. And I love this set, by the way. But I would like your opinion on this. That's such a good question.
Ooh. You know, I think it would be nice to see more themes like that, because we've got it a little bit with Wizards of the Coast, and we got it again with Team Rocket for EX series. And then we saw some other team card sets like that where you had Double Crisis, I believe, Team Magma versus Team Aqua. But we haven't seen the dark ones again. And I think everybody really likes those. Neo Destiny is another one that I forgot as well. Those are big fan favorites. So I think it would be nice to return to those styles, but I think also people might be a little disappointed in it as well, because Team Rocket Returns, or Team Rocket, wasn't that great of a set overall. You know, back then it wasn't that liked, and even nowadays it's still not quite as popular compared to the other sets. And then we also look at Team Rocket Returns has just huge popularity among all collectors. I think SM Pratt was saying it was probably one of the best EX sets, and just one of those sets that stands out. The reverse holo pattern, I don't think I have any of the cards, with me, but just the holo pattern, the design of it all, the name stamp of Team Rocket Returns. I think it would be nice if they would do it, but I also think if people go into it thinking that it's going to be like Team Rocket Returns, the last set was there, they might be disappointed because the new art style and the new holo pattern and texture, I don't know if it'll ever match up to Team Rocket Returns and how all the pattern designs worked out and just the theme and everything else. So Pokemon's gotten better with it, and I would like to see it, but I'm not gonna put any expectations on it, basically.
Gotcha. Fighter's Destiny. Thank you so much. That's true. I really actually really like the set. And that set did not catch on early.
No?
It got no, it didn't. I from my opinion, it catch on a little bit later. A little bit later, but then eventually it caught on. But I really, really, really like that set. That's a nice one. There
Yeah.
you go. That's a really nice one.
Arita
That's a
artwork
nice
as
one.
well.
Yeah. One of my biggest regret, let me double check. See, I sent that Torchic Gold Star. Let me double check. Oh my goodness.
There we go.
Let me see. I was just looking at my collection as well. Let me turn this on while I go here.
Oh, well.
Do you have any cards at a PSA right now? At all?
I've got about 1,500 probably at PSA at the moment.
Oh my goodness, 1,500.
Yeah.
My goodness.
What about yourself? I don't know if you want to disclose.
I have about I think I calculated about 8,000. I use my local card shop to so I know the bill is gonna be high.
Yeah.
But he said that what I can do is display some of my cards in his showcase, right? So he said whatever I sell, he gets whatever the price is. He either gets about 30% or 25%. So that's how I'll pay it back. And not only that, he thinks that's such a great idea because one, other people are going to come in and start to buy some of the cards, and he actually has Pokemon product, assuming Pokemon's going to be popular when and all my cards come back.
Yeah.
So I use him, which I'm pretty excited. I think it will be okay. But let me double check.
I know you're pretty busy, so it's kind of also like a time. Like, how do you value your time? You know, for anybody else that wants to do this part time, I know Danny Fantup has like a great series where he's always talking about, you know, what he does in design and setting things up. And for you, I don't know if you said your profession out here, but it's just you're busy, you know, and is it worth your time? You know, so that's the question right there. Hopefully, sorry, I got somebody working on the bathroom. Hopefully you don't hear the cutting and the tools outside running.
Yeah.
But
let me know if you guys hear an echo. No, there's no echo, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Perfect. Let me go here. So it's only my end. Let me add this to the stream. I was going to send some of these cards, but these are not up to par to what I was going to send. So I'm not going to send. But these are the cards. Let me go here. I don't have to torch it. I think I sent that, which is okay. Let me go here.
So with all the cards that you did send, was the reason that you didn't send the gold stars that are there, or did you have others that you sent?
I didn't send these because these are. I don't think they are not even going to get a PSA 9. So that's the reason why I didn't send it. So some of these are completely, even though they're very nice. Okay, let me take out even though they're very nice, right? Because I keep the cards in, but they look OC. But I don't know why I didn't send this Mew. Oh, here you go. There's a couple of white spots there. And let me go here. Did you know that I bought all these cards back then? They were like about. These were $25. Oops. Let me pull out. These were $25 each. The Mew, I think I got it for like $35. And these are not bad shape either. It's just the way that. See, this one has a white spot. I didn't send it. I don't know. It's so little, but
you'll be
so critical.
Easily get a 9 still, though.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, maybe
they've got it harder.
Yeah, I mean, at a minimum an 8, but I mean, an 8 still like $500 plus for some of those cards. So it seems like it still might
Yeah.
be worth putting in.
So this Charizard, I went to a local pawn shop, and he said that I have a shoebox full of Pokemon cards. And he said, "Do you want to just take a risk and buy it?" I said, "Sure." I think it was about $25, $30. And
Mhm.
this is one of the cards that I pulled. And it's
How long
not
ago was that?
bad. I know. It's not, see, it has some whitening that I didn't send it.
Yeah.
So,
But when was that you paid 25 for the?
oh, years ago.
Okay.
Years ago. Years ago. So, but anyways, there's some of the gold star. Did you send any of the gold star to PSA?
At this point, I didn't have any gold stars, but I
Mm-hmm.
recently, I think in between the last time that we did the live stream, I think I picked
Mm-hmm.
up. Somebody notified me. Somebody on Instagram told me about a collector that had, I think, 10 or 11 EX Series Master sets, and so
Wow.
I think I posted one video about the Unseen
Mm-hmm.
Forces and
Mm-hmm.
what was the other one? Delta Species. So those got graded and they came back. So those are back. Those got 8.5, which I sent
Mm-hmm.
off all the EXs and all the gold stars from Delta Species and Unseen Forces. And I got 19 out of 24, 8.5s. So it was kind of odd to get that many 8.5s. I was like, no. And then,
Yeah, I heard it's hard to get 8.5s.
yeah, it's easy now because that's all the cards that everybody sees. But on
Mm-hmm.
the subgrades, out of 96 subgrades, I only got two 9.5s.
Wow.
So
Wow.
maybe they were harsh, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. It just that. But that's I sent those to CGC, so that's there. I'm using CGC at the moment just because I'd
Mm-hmm.
rather flip those cards quickly now and get that money back and buy the rest of the cards because with
Mm-hmm.
the higher level ones, I send them to CGC, get them back and sell
Mm-hmm.
them. But the
Gotcha.
holos and the reverse holos go to PSA for bulk because I've been
Mm-hmm.
selling bulk for PSA holos. Let's see.
Oh, so those are the fires in the back. Ooh, I want to see all of them now. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Well,
Just stuff like this. These are PSA 9.
okay. Mm-hmm.
And, I sent off probably 113 of these in the
Oh,
original submission.
let me, there you go. Oops, let me,
Yeah. So these are the Cosmos Holo variants. And so what I've been doing with a lot of these is I've been buying them and then sending them off to grade. And the strategy is send off the higher valuable cards to CGC, get them back quicker. I might get less of a premium, but I can sell them quicker because the only other option is I send off, say, I sent off a Kyogre Gold Star. I got a CGC 9, which is probably going to be hopefully about $1,000. And so I could choose to send that to PSA and maybe get more 9s, but I have to pay $300. That's the cheapest service level. So that's going to eat into my profit. And since PSA is grading harder at this point, the likelihood that I'll get a 10 to get that big bump up in price is very small. So basically, my strategy is send those cards off quicker from these EX Series Master sets. I'm buying 11 in total. I bought 4. I will be purchasing 2 or 3 more at the end of the month. And so I send off the EXs, sell them quickly, take that money, and then buy the rest of the next set. And then I just sort through the reverse holos, commons, uncommons, send those in bulk to PSA, obviously adjusted for the price for $20 because it's different. These ones, these were $750 on the quarterly special. And so back then I figured that I would get $50 to $70 a piece. So I would make $30, $40 after fees. But these are selling for $100 to $300 in PSA 9 for a lot of these cards. I sold a Typhlosion from Unseen Forces. I think I sold that for about $400 plus on eBay in a PSA 9. And so doing those things, sending those off, made me a lot of money. And doing the same thing now, I could send off Typhlosion, and the difference in profit between $20 a card and $10 a card is like minimal. It doesn't matter if you're sending off. Let me know if you guys hear that in the background.
yes, we do. I was going to ask you, I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, they're doing a lot of construction work.
Yeah. So funny story is, found somebody on Craigslist stupid enough to do the bathroom. The guy was here for 6 weeks, never finished the job at all, basically. And so we were left with a bathroom just half finished, and the plumbing was shaking everywhere. And yeah, so basically had to pay again to have somebody redo it, basically. So
It's definitely a necessity. So you definitely got to get the bathroom fixed. So completely
yeah,
understand. Not at all.
yeah,
Not at all.
yeah.
Completely
So I do
understand.
apologize that, yeah. So
That's okay. It's okay, you guys. So what I'm kind of getting is that to do a quick flip, you send your cards to CGC, but to have your own personal collection, and you guys, this is all perspective, okay? Just want to let you know it's all perspective, but this is how he's making his money, so and he's sharing with us. So to do a quick flip, you send it to CGC, and to keep your own personal collection, you do PSA. Is that what I'm kind of getting so far?
no, that wouldn't be.
Or
Um, you're right on the first half because
okay.
the cheapest service level is $300 per card. So
Mhm.
it's not worth it for me to send, say, a $150 PSA 9 EX card at
Mhm.
$300.
Mhm.
So what I do is I'll send those to CGC for $50 and I'll get those back quickly. But for the hollows and everything else, what I'll do is I'll send those to PSA because it's $20 a card, and people are willing to pay more for these cards, in PSA 9, and that's going to make me a larger profit margin. CGC, it may or may not be there, but I'd rather stick with PSA, partly because of what you mentioned. I'm going to keep the PSA 10 EX hollows that get graded, but the other cards will also make me more money to buy the cards that I want later. So yeah, it will go towards the personal collection, but at the same time, it's more because of the profit aspect. I can buy the sets quicker and flip it around sooner, and then the bulk cards will eventually come back. So if I break down the math, Unseen Forces and Delta Species cost me $7,000. And so that's for both sets, master sets, complete reverse hollows and everything. And with this submission to CGC, it cost me about $1,000 to grade all the EXs and all the hollows. No, all the EXs and gold stars. And that's going to be worth about $8,000. So that covers literally the fees for everything. And then now I have the rest of the hollows at PSA. And excuse me, I estimate those to be worth $75 to $150 on average. But obviously, Typhlosion and other cards are going to be worth $300-$400 in a PSA 9. And so those will be hopefully to come back for personal collection, but also for more value. So basically, by grading the EXs and gold stars and high value cards with CGC, I break even. That way, my money is free to flip again and buy more cards. And eventually, what I'm doing now with all the stuff that's behind me, the cards
Mhm.
here in the personal collection are at a bank vault because they're so expensive now. But the
Mhm.
cards I'm selling, I have here. And so with those, basically, I have them at PSA, and the goal is to basically, get 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 cards at PSA while being neutral. It's I buy 10,000, I get some cards back enough to recover that first cost, and I buy another collection, split it up again between fast return or quick flip, and then the rest for long term. That way, I've got continuous volumes of stuff coming back so that I can sell. And so that's kind
Gotcha.
of the strategy.
Gotcha, gotcha. We're gonna go to some of the comments, but I want to go back to what you just said because I want to know myself. Father's Destiny.
Ooh.
Oh, let you guys know for my quick and my last rip and ship, everything was sent. You guys will get a tracking today. There's only 3 people I did not send because two of them told me to save. One did not send me their
Mm.
address, but I will send on Monday. What is your least favorite hollow pattern? I'm assuming he means there's a crystal and there's just the lines or just a regular Wizard of the Coast. So that's actually a good question. I would like to know this.
So hollow pattern would be the reverse hollow from, say, the E series. There's really nothing to it. It's just a plain shine to it. There's nothing special about it, and that continues into the first few EX series. I don't know about you. What's your least favorite hollow pattern?
Okay, it's gonna be the black and white where they have all the lines.
Oh,
The
okay.
black and white, yeah, where
Yeah.
they have all the little flashy lines. I
Mhm.
did not like that. I did not like that at all. I did
It's
not
kind of
like it.
lazy.
I just didn't like it at all. It was never appealing to me, but other than that, it was okay. Modern regular hogglers just have the same appeal layouts. With flashy full arts. That's true. No echo. Oh, okay. Do you collect Japanese other set promos you like? Sometimes? Okay. Do you collect something the mainstream didn't consider, or a lot of collectors don't value as much as you do, like a niche?
Ooh, okay. So would this be kind of like personal, or would I ask for like value? Because I have things that I would like to sell, or actually, no, you
Go
said collect.
ahead. Answer it all. Like, make the question value. Just answer it all. That's how I always go. I just go into depth in everything. When
Yeah.
I go on a broadcast, when someone asks, I just
Mhm.
go this and this. But that's me. I go on a complete tangent. So,
Right? It's kind of hard not to. You get
oh
excited about it. That's the fun part about the hobby. You get from one card to the next, and it's like, here's your favorite character from this one. It connects you to this video game. It's exciting. It's I don't know about you, but can you talk to people in your regular lives about it, or like, do people just be like, oh my god, there goes Anna talking about Pokemon?
I think they're used to it. My
Like,
viewers are used to it. Me just going on a tangent. So
not
they're
personal.
used to it. I'm almost positive they're used to it. Swami was in his Swami. He was
Yeah.
in my one of the guests, and I went full on. I mean, full on tangent when someone asked something about somebody that we both know, and I just went full on. Oops, I was so bad of me, but
Yeah.
they're used to it. Go ahead. You
Well,
are the guest.
no.
You talk.
But what?
That's
Well,
the thing.
for you, what about family though? I meant like obviously the viewers are here for
Uh
Pokemon stuff.
huh.
What about family? Do you talk to them about that stuff, or is this kind of
Oh no, not at all. My mom and my family does not know anything about Pokemon. And I always tell my viewers that if
Mhm.
anything were to happen to me, my mom would be like, I told my mom, the cards are worth a lot of money. And she goes,
Mhm.
honey, $200 is not a lot of money. Okay. I can buy two. I'm like, Mom, you think my whole collection is
Mhm.
worth $200? She goes, yeah, or best offer. Or she probably wouldn't. She doesn't even know. If
Oh
anything would
man.
happen to me, she'll put
Mhm.
all of this. She won't use Craigslist or anything. She'll put it in a garage sale, and she'll probably be like $200 or something. And someone will be like $100. She'll be like, okay, these are just children's toys.
Oh
I
man.
was, I the moment I heard it, well, I'm sure most of my viewers know what I do. I put this baby in a trust right away, and it went to a portion of my mom. I have a trustee, and a portion of it goes to my cats, my pets, my
Yeah.
cats, and it's in a trust, and to animal rescue. And
Which
I
is
have
cool.
so we are gonna get it. So, anyways, we're gonna let you
Dang.
finish with the Wizard of the Coast question.
All right. So Japanese. I am collecting the Japanese promos with the Pikachus. I used to collect them before, and there were some promos that I liked. So I don't really collect a lot of the older stuff just because it's kind of hard and expensive to get into, and time is limited and funds are limited. So it's kind of hard to collect them. So I've been sticking with the Pikachu promos like the Kanazawa and the ship one. I really have no idea what they're called. I just like the cute Pikachu with the ship, the cute one with the kimono and stuff like that. I think they're fun, they're interesting, and just sometimes you got to collect things just because they're fun and not really because of the price. And so for me, those Japanese promos are kind of just for the fun. It's if they go up in value, they go up in value, but if not, I don't really care. So those are kind of what I collect. That's niche, other than just the Final Fantasy, the Marvel stuff, and what's the other one? Yu Yu Hakusho as well. So Yu Yu Hakusho's I got like a little. Where's my manga at? So oops. So things like this,
Oh,
Yu Yu
let me
Hakusho.
go here.
Yeah. So this is Yu Yu
Oh,
Hakusho.
nice. Uh
Yeah.
huh.
And so I bigger that's bigger for me than it was Dragon Ball, and so I've been collecting those. They were made by Score as well, and I've been picking them up and trying to put together sets and things like that. And they're much cheaper than Pokemon,
Hmm.
and it's the hobby for me is just more about collecting than it is for that. So
Gotcha. Gotcha. Oh, thank you, Poking Knowledge. I'm telling you, I always want to collaborate. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, I hoard a lot of cards. The things that you guys see in the background is just like 1% of my collection. And I have so many cards. It's unbelievable. And I've been collecting for such a long time. I've been in the hobby for a very, very long time. And I bought over at least right now, as I counted, probably over 350 collections that I just sit there, and I'm finally grading my cards. Finally grading my cards. And I did it all at once, which is the craziest thing. Finally grading all my cards. But thank you so much, and I'm gonna keep up the good work, and we'll always work together to help the Pokemon community. And I try my best to share what I know and my knowledge and my experience in the community to help people make utmost joy in their collection. And of course, if they're in it for money, this is why we bring guests like Hisoka to actually educate and learn people how to do the best way to sell cards, buy cards, or flip cards in some case. The evolution reverse from dust or fire. That is true. That is true. There's Swami. Hey, Blazer, how are you? What do you think of modern prices and what will happen to the prices in the future? Poke Knowledge made a video discussing once PSA modern cards return will go down. I absolutely agree with that, but I want to hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah, we can. I want to hear what you have to say about it as well, because this is there's a few
I'm
things.
sure I've answered this question many times, and this is one
Yeah,
of my tangent question.
yeah,
But you're the guest. I'm sure my viewers would already know what I'm gonna say, but this is your opinion, and we've talked about this before. So
yeah. I think that it will possibly go down with the graded cards. The regular cards themselves, though, because people won't get the cards back for 12 months. I mean, 12 months is being lucky at this point, just because of how backed up PSA is. Gary was talking about it. Gary went on a rant about PSA. SM Prant went up, talked about it, how badly it was managed. And so I think that people are going to keep the hype going because they won't get the cards back long enough to know if they're doing badly. Just like if you were sailing on a boat or doing like you're driving without GPS and you just go somewhere, you're not going to know you're going to hit the wrong location until you finally arrive somewhere. And if the distance is long in between, you're not going to see a road marker for several hundred miles. And by that point, you're SOL, you got to turn back around. So a lot of these folks are not going to get the returns to know, one, how they grade. Do you know what PSA is looking for? Do you know how to do centering? Do you know what are factory issues and things like that from certain sets? Because Shining Fates set right here, when they first came out, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, because I think you probably opened these. I haven't really opened any of these. So did you see?
I opened a bunch.
How is the condition for the?
They're very much OC. Most or some of the cards are very much OC. And then I was actually opening some the other day. Pokemon's quality is such a decline. And that's okay. They're not going to change it. As long as people still buy, they're not going to change it. They were just stuffing the packs in the tins. It was so bad. It was just stuffing the packs in. And I want to let you guys, I tell everybody, I'm like, this is, and one of the cards that I opened, luckily, was just a common card that I double checked. There was just a huge crease already. They just was just stuffing in there. And it's just pretty bad. But other than that, but yeah.
Did you notice the silvering that was going on the shinies?
No, not
Baby
at all.
shinies.
Not at all.
Yeah, I picked up some of the grade, and they have a lot of edge wear on the side, like the Team Rocket or Jungle cards. How they have that silvering, but it's much more. It's much more subdued. Like you can't see it, but you can still see the chipping around the edges on the first print run of Shining Fates. And so if you didn't know that and you sent it off to grade, you basically put all your money on that first batch. And then if you did buy them and then you set them off, you're going to lose money right away. So things like that, knowing about condition issues that happen in Wave 1 versus Squeak's Game Squad. Squeak's Game Squad or Game World? I forget. I just call them
we call them Squeak Squad and Game Girl,
Squad, yeah.
A Game World. Oh, I totally apologize, Connor. My thing just totally reloaded. I did not mean to miss your question. Your question's next. I'm so sorry about that, Connor. I totally reloaded and I went to Blazer. I apologize about that. Just did not mean to skip your comment. I'm sorry, your question. But yeah, it's Squeak's Game World, but he called everybody Squeak Squad. He always does this.
He's got a lot more energy than I have on camera. I'm always jealous of him because in person, I do personal training and other stuff like that, or I do seminars or things like that. You got to be very engaging. But for me, doing it on camera feels really awkward just because there's nobody there. Like, you're like, do I look into the camera? Do I look down at the angle at you? It's like, what? I don't know if you get used to it after a while.
No, I totally do. I just learned just to do myself, and this is how I am. And I've
Mhm.
learned because of just what I do, but not, what I do for a living. And when I was, when I went to school, I had to do all of this, and I had to present. I had to go to, present mock trial, and I just sit there and I just talk and talk. So I'm very used to this. Something that I do. This
Mhm.
is, it's not, it's learned. It's definitely not natural. So, but
Yeah.
I would, let's go back to his
Mhm.
question. So I would
Yeah.
like for you to answer this question and go. I always tell people this
Mhm.
is, this is your own opinion, and
Mhm.
keep doing what you have to do.
Yeah. So I guess to finalize the answer is basically modern prices. I think the graded cards will probably fall, but that'll be basically the later series. The prices for the current stuff, the raw stuff, is different because that depends on when the factory comes up. Will that demand still be there? Target and Walmart are closing down and backing. Basically, one person or one whole household can only get one item. Basically, sports, Magic, Pokemon. It doesn't matter what you buy; you only get one item. So will all of those things deter people and decrease the demand as Pokemon increases the supply? In which case, short term wise, the older sets, Sun and Moon, will probably see a lot of returns and they'll drop in price, but it may take a while for the cards that are modern now to come back and cheapen. So the graded cards might take longer because they're going to send them in bulk. But if that demand drops, and then at some point when Pokemon just starts printing, you might see the drop. So it's kind of hard to say. The only thing that I will say is that if you get the prices super cheap when they come out, if you can get them ahead of time, which they used to be very cheap, but they aren't anymore. Like the booster boxes. You used to be able to pre-order from Damon Adams Card World. You used to get a case for like $5.25 or whatever, and that's ridiculous. Now you can't get it. But now if you wait till the drop, like 1 or 2 months afterwards, the cards usually drop if you're going to grade. So if you get it at that price point, 5 or 10 years, it doesn't matter. And so for me, yeah, they'll probably drop, but I'm not worried about short term. I'm just worried about getting the cards as cheaply as possible from the beginning, grading them in bulk as cheap as possible so the profit margin is higher, and just sitting on it. That's basically it.
See, what you are doing now is a way to make money, and I agree with that. But the majority of the new collectors are in the hobby who are
Mhm.
trying to make money. And this is why my channel is not a hype channel, because I speak the truth, okay? I stand by this, and I say this is a fact. They're not doing what you're doing. They're buying high and trying to sell high. But in
Mhm.
reality, what's going to happen is that when they buy high, they're going to end up selling low because
Yeah.
there's so many people that are going to undercut them. Because I was telling you during, and I'll share with you guys this. I have the capital to buy. I do. I certainly do. When people want to sell the collection, they come to me and they're like, "Hey, do you want to buy?" And I'm willing to spend 10, 20,000 to buy the collection, but I have stopped buying the collections. I've stopped. I
Mhm.
completely have stopped. And I buy some here and there for seal, but I'm not a big spender anymore. I was. I recently bought, a couple of collections with my local card shop here and there, and people have reached out to me and they said, "Hey, are you interested in selling? I heard that you buy." And I said, I'm not buying any slabs right now because I know that once all the slabs come back, that it's going to undercut your price, right? I tell them the truth. I'm very honest, right? And I can go to Pokemon World, I can go to Verbank, and I can go to just my friends who are just selling it. And they're telling me the truth. They said, "I'll be honest with you." And I write all these comments because I look for deals. And they would tell me, they're like, "I can't sell. I can't sell these slabs. I can't." I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, before, with the stimulus check or whatever they call it, I
Mhm.
could sell them a day or two. Now it's taking me weeks and I have to undercut. It's either that the market is saturated or the buyers are getting smarter, which I believe it's probably a combination of both.
Mhm.
Or people are just getting out of the hobby and they can't sell. And I'm being very honest with the people that reach out to me. I said, "Look, I'm waiting for that to happen," what Blazer OP was saying, because I firmly believe, and I tell people this is what my plan is. My
Mm,
plan is that I'm gonna wait for all the cards to come back. They're already undercutting each other in Pokemon World on Facebook Marketplace. They're
mhm.
undercutting in that, and there's people that are price slashing. Says I can't sell, and it was like sell, 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 quick claim sell. All these claim sells, nobody are buying. Nobody. So eventually, what are they going to do with all the cards that are going to come back? And that's when I come in and says, all
Mhm.
right, well, I need certain cards for my collection. I'm willing to buy. And that's when I buy the lowest. But that's what's happening in the Pokemon community right now, is that people are buying high at a premium price. But that's the thing, that people that don't know, they're very misguided. That's the word I'm going to use. They're very misguided. They're not going to make any money. That's it. I firmly, firmly, firmly believe it. I really, really do. They think it's easy to get, PSA 9s and all that stuff. But anyways, $200 per bell sprouts. You guys are funny. Connor, I'm gonna go back. Do you have any Japanese Pika DP exchange promos?
Ooh, no, sadly, I don't have any of those. I probably did in the past, but there's just too many cards at this point to buy. So,
Very nice.
oh, speaking
Show the
of
megas. Yeah.
show the manga. Okay, I'll show the manga while I'm doing.
Okay.
I'll respond a little bit to what you were saying.
Yeah,
Um,
tell me.
so what I think we talked about that was there's a Warren Buffett quote, another one by
Uh-huh.
Kagami, and
Mhm.
he said, "Buy when others are selling, and sell when others are buying." When they're greedy. And I think you mentioned Gary was saying some of these cards were overvalued. Some people
Mhm.
might take that for him just downplaying what he has to buy
Mhm.
more. There's always both aspects, but
Mhm.
other folks that are that big are just kind of, I don't want to say, they're not buying the biggest item tickets. Like SM Pratt, I subscribe to his Patreon, and there's a lot of discussion there. I can see what other people are moving and doing, and there's a lot of folks that are just buying the raw cards. If you know what to buy and know what to look for, those EX sets
Mhm.
that I mentioned, the 11 master sets, I'm buying those because I believe the EX series is kind of undervalued based on how rare it is, and the difficulty in acquiring those reverse hollows. It's very difficult, and so I'm willing to sit on it. And as I think Connor B was mentioning that it's about patience. And
Exactly.
yeah, like SM Pratt, all these other folks like Rusty. God, there's so many other folks. There's
That's
some
it.
private stuff that I can't remember as well,
Mhm.
where Charlie Herlocker would mention that he would buy 20, 30 copies of some of these Japanese promos, just sit on them. He didn't grade them. They're not in the graded report. And for some cards like English, that might hurt you because it's harder to
Mhm.
grade, but Japanese,
Mhm.
it's not. And he would buy some of those promos at like $20 a card, and now they're 100, $300 a piece, and he's sitting on 50 copies because he's going to wait till later till the prices dip and they go out of everybody's eye. And right now it's more difficult than it was prior to do things like that because everybody's hyper aware at this point. So those tactics, you just can't do it. Like Rusty has tons. I mean, most people don't remember because it's hard to stay up on things like with any sort of topic. It's like, if you were studying, say, medicine or law or things like that, if you studied it now, it would be hard to catch up on the history of things because there's so much information now to dive back in.
Exactly.
And with Rusty, he
Exactly.
was buying all those Wizards of the Coast cards like you do, and when they were bad quality, he just has like 5,000 cardboard boxes full of those things. Because back then it wasn't. He thought it was stupid for him to sell a base set hollow that was like excellent or something like that. Like it was just dumb to sell it. So he's sitting on tons of those. Gotta Catch 'Em All is talking about tons of those first edition pack fresh cards because he used to open up those boxes because they were just so easy and cheap, and there's so many of them. And
Mhm.
so a lot of folks are basically, they bought a lot of stuff and then they sit on it, and they're probably still doing it today with modern. If you buy it during the low point and you grade it and you sit on it, in 5 to 10 years, yeah, it's going to go up. And if you can do that consistently for a while, where you what is it, diversify basically. I've got Wizards of the
Yes.
Coast cards, EX series. There's some E series. There's some Sun and Moon. There's some of the new modern stuff, and you just send all those cards off. And Japanese promos, don't forget, you send
Mhm.
those off. You just have a variety. Sometimes you list it when you have it, spiking and peaking, and the other times you just sit on it. And if you do the strategy that I think most of us do, basically, is where you buy a collection and then you flip it and you go neutral on it, then you can just pocket the rest of it and set it aside, and you forget about it. And so basically, when you do that, you put yourself in a position where SM Pratt talked about the millionaire next door, where you lower your overheads and you don't have to sell, you don't have to make the mistakes that I made. Then you can just sit on those and not worry about it. You just basically build up a supply, almost like a retirement, and you do that strategy, and eventually at some point you could liquidate it all, or you start liquidating it in a time period, and you make a bigger profit that way, where you just sit on it for a while and you don't have to sell, and you're not basically clamoring for everybody else to sell it. So that's kind of the strategy, and thinking about it like that. That's how you're going to do well. Waiting and being patient and not caring.
Exactly.
Don't care about if it's come down or not.
Exactly.
Buy now.
I preach that so much in this channel. Patience. I think they're gonna get so tired of me. They're probably like, not patience anymore with this woman saying that word. But I preach so much on patience, and it's coming from experience. It's not coming from people it's coming from experience. How I was telling them that I was the moron that paid $27 a pack for generations, right? And then it went down to 17, went on 12, and then I got a bunch for $2 a pack. Patient. And the thing is that, and I know a lot of huge collectors, huge, and I know I'm friends with, I would say, most of them. And and I'm very honest with my viewers. I said, do you know what they're doing? They're waiting. The big people, the most capital, they're waiting. They're not buying. You know who's buying? And even Reserved Investment said it on live stream. He said, the people that are making the most money, they're not spending the money. They're not. And he said the exact words, is the Timmies that are buying it. He said it. That was so funny. I was like, whoa. Yeah. He's like, it's the Timmies, Kimmies, and Poindexters.
Timmies?
He said it. A Reserved Investment.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure people watched it, said it. Are the ones that are buying, that are paying the premium pack, the premium post of whatever pack or price, whatever it was, that are buying it. And you know who's going to end up losing the most money? They are. And who's going to end up getting the most money? You are, because you are patient and you know how to buy when you can. I mean, what is that?
I asked the question, who knows this manga? I'm just at this point, I'm just reading this manga and just like, this one's funny. You should definitely watch it. It's funny.
Oh, yeah. I don't even have time to watch shows, but let's go back. What's your favorite? Let me know. What is your biggest nightmare enemy Pokemon / trainer in the Pokemon Game Boy games?
Ooh. Would it be Bruno? I'm trying to remember who was the Gen 2. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong down below, but the Gen 2, I can't remember if it's the ice one or the fighting one, because early on, you had a chance in Gen 1 to get Dratini before. I believe you could get it before the Elite Four. And I think there was like a game where there was ice Pokemon, which obviously its weakness. And I think it came up early in the Elite Four. So you had your Dragonite. You finally, after grinding for so long, you got it to level 55. You got the Dragonite. It had okay moves. And then it's double weak, or technically quadruple weakness to ice. So you had to get over that first team to get there, And I think there was the same thing with Tyranitar, where it's dark and rock. So it's quadruple weakness to fighting. And there's like a fighting gym leader. I think it's Bruno. I don't remember who the ice one is, but there's Bruno and the other one. So those ones, whenever I was playing like Gen 1 or 2 and there was, this direction, that way. Yeah, those would be the ones that would really just like, oh no, you know what? I just remember, whoever has Miltank. Do you remember that? Miltank from Gen 2.
The pig Pokemon.
The cow.
The cow.
Yeah,
So, I do.
Had a move called Rollout, and it was dense anyway. It had a lot of HP, and it would do Rollout. And each turn it would do more and more. So if you didn't kill it quick enough, then you basically would out of luck. So everybody knows. Most people know. Like, is that Whitney? I don't remember. Whatever trainer had Miltank, that would always piss me off, because it was just random, because it's like when you play a game, it's like, do they pick attack A, B, or C? And if they pick C, which is rollout, like the difficult move, you just got hammered basically. And so you were just waited till the chance where the game didn't pick it until very late in your battle, so you could kill it quick enough. So yeah, rollout Miltank was the one I hate the most. I take that back. The other ones, yeah.
There's no way modern booster boxes can retain their value once a flooded market and teaming leaves the hobby. This is, I kind of disagree half and half. I want to know your opinion. I do think if you buy modern booster boxes
Mhm.
at close to MSRP as possible, there might be a chance. Actually, I think there's a good chance that it will go up. I do. I do believe that sealed products are probably one of the best investment. I'm still product queen here. So that's what I think. And I've noticed this way before Pokemon exploded, that sealed product tends to retain their value. That's what I noticed. That sometimes they'll dip a little, but they'll always retain their value. But what I do believe is the other half is that yes, once the money is not there, they will leave, because not because they don't like Pokemon. They were in
Mhm.
one, I think they're in it for the wrong reason. And two, they are extremely misguided. They're listening to bad people that are giving them bad advice. Okay. Bad advice on how to make money. You can make money in Pokemon. You just have to know how to make money in Pokemon. And the
Mhm.
only thing is, while they're not making money in Pokemon, is because in trading cards, I think in all collectibles, you need to understand the market. You need to understand the organic demand and the growth of that card, right?
Mhm.
Because some cards, like I'll show you all the EXs, the
Yeah.
gold star, right? You got to understand that those are the cards that people want, and that's how they can buy to sell. If you don't understand, if the new collectors, they come in and they go, I don't understand this card, they don't understand the organic demand of that card, you can never, it's almost so hard to sell that card, right?
Mhm.
And they don't know anything. They just go to YouTube or something, and they'll listen to somebody that's selling them a product, and they'll
Mhm.
be like, oh, okay, okay,
Yeah.
I think I can make money on that. They'll pay a premium price for that pack or that card, whatever. And when they come back, they're like, I can't sell that card because, and they'll reach out to me. And I said, it's because there was no organic demand for that card, right? Um, I mean, I won this. I love this card, but I'm going to use this card for an example.
Mhm.
Okay. There you go. Sorry, Spear. I always use this card. So, for
Mhm.
example, right? I mean, this is the thing is that with new collectors, when they come in the hobby, they don't really understand. They use data. This is me on my tangent again. So
Yeah.
they use data,
All good.
right? They'll be like, oh, this is pop 2. Oh my god, it's rare, it's pop 2. It's
Mhm.
pop 2 because nobody wanted to grade the darn card, right? That's what
Exactly.
it is. There's no organic demand for that card. So data can be extremely misleading, as
Yep.
at times as well. The thing that's why Pokemon hobby is so hard to make money is that there's lots of ways people can make money. They're buying high, selling high. Nobody wants to, right? That's what it is.
Mhm.
You got to have another people that don't understand the growth of Pokemon. I will never look at that card and go, oh, pop 2, $3,000. Yeah, right. I ain't gonna buy that card. The thing is that they need Timmy's after Timmy's to sell. But after that, people are gonna get educated, right? They're gonna learn and realize, okay, why am I not making money? And that's when eventually the hobby will become very stable. Anyways,
Yeah.
I kept talking. I
No,
apologize. I went
that's
on a
good. That's
tangent for
actually
this. The floor is yours for the.
no, no. That's a lot of like what I hear from you, from Jake, and from other folks. It's kind of who's getting left with the hot potato at the end of it. Everybody's tossing it to each other, and then they're adding more stuff on. It's like by the end, you're all basically somebody's going to be left holding it, and somebody's going to make profit. And at that point, it's more of like a guessing game. I forget there was I was listening to a book, and it was talking about basically they did a psychology study where they put people in a room and they left them all these buttons, and they said you got 30 minutes to make as many points as you can. And so they're like pressing buttons, they get a point. Then they try to repeat it, it doesn't work. So they try something new. And that gives them a point. And so what happens next? They try to repeat that thing. And then next thing you know, they stand up and then they touch a button and they're like, oh, now I gotta stand. So you have no idea what you're doing. There was no pattern or anything to it at all. And there's no rhyme or reason to it. And people are just making money and they think, oh, this is great. Like that study kind of basically says we rationalize and come up with things in our own head, and none of it has to make any sense. And so you did say something where you're talking about reserve said those people aren't buying, but then you did mention there are some folks that are buying and making money. Like you're doing it, you're going to buy a collection. I'm buying collections. Jake, other folks, SM Pratt, everybody's buying collections, but we have the skills from being in the hobby. We're genuinely fans of the hobby. It's like this. I wouldn't do as well if I didn't enjoy the hobby. If I didn't spend hours playing Pokemon Go with some friends, it's like we would go outside and play Pokemon Go. We would go do big old tournaments and stuff like that. And just if I wasn't a fan of it, I wouldn't be doing as well. And you have to be a genuine collector to get into it. Pokemon's easy to understand, but if you don't understand those nuances of characters that are popular, why they're popular, it's like, what's so good about them? What stands out? Are they really cute Pokemon? Is it aggressive Pokemon? Those themes and those sets from the games, it's like if you don't understand those things, then yeah, you're going to get burned and you're just going to fall for everything. And you're going to come up with your head like, I bought this card and it's like, okay, great. It's going to make a ton of money. But why is it the EX series is not following well? That's because it's scarce. It's hard to find, difficult to grade in EX or in 10 condition. And those collectors are generally just people that enjoy the cards, and you don't see it getting the social media hype. And so the cards aren't dropping in price. And I doubt that if things crash that, this card here, Espeon, is going to crash anywhere. It's going to go anywhere. It's not, same thing with Lugia. People realizing, it's low pop, just as difficult to find in PSA 10 as Neo Genesis. And the boxes are harder to find and the card's harder to pull, but it's not as difficult to grade. So they balance out. And eventually that's what's going to sustain the price. But if you don't know that about the character and the hobby, then yeah, you're just setting yourself up for failure. And so genuine interest in anything is going to help you research and understand, so.
Correct. And that's where it is. They need to understand the organic demand of the cards or the cards that they're buying. And when they said, Pokemon making money in Pokemon's easy, and I would be the first to say, I disagree. I really think it's hard. And there's videos that I follow on YouTubers who do it, and I forgot his name. I think I actually wrote on his comment on his YouTube because he follows me, and he agreed with me. He said I started thinking it was easy until I started to list my cards. They're not. It's not easy. I'm like, of course it's not easy. You got to understand the background of the card. Do people want the card, right? And there's another, and he goes, you know what? I was buying cards from PWCC, and I was trying to flip it the next week, and no one would buy it. I'm like, because, well, who's teaching you how to sell and buy, right? You got to buy low, sell high. You're not, right? If you want to make money, you can't flip it in a week, in 2 days, or not even probably even 2 months. If you buy it, hold on to it. Because you bought it, I'm pretty sure you bought it at market price. You can't sell something market price and then flip it. You need to sell it with another Timmy, right? Who doesn't know anything about the card, and you gotta lie and BS. And that's how you feel to do it. Like, I can't do it.
Nope.
That's how it is. That's the problem with Pokemon right now. Are the people that are in it for the money are winning over the people that are in it for genuine. That's what I do believe right now. And that's where a lot of people are going to get burnt in the end. It is. And that's sad because I totally went on a tangent. We need to go back to the question.
But that's a good point, though.
But that's the problem. The problem is that's it is. And the thing is that I was telling in my last stream, I said, regardless of what it is, we need people to be in the hobby, right? We can't let people to leave the hobby. Everything that I've hoarded in the back will be completely meaningless and useless, and worth absolutely nothing without the people that buy and that come in the hobby. Okay,
exactly.
So, and that's why I started to do this YouTube channel to go, patience. And the people that are patient are going to make the most money in the end. And I've learned this throughout the years and years I've been doing this. And I see it in front of my eyes. I'm going to go back. I apologize. I totally went on a tangent, you guys.
No, you mentioned stuff there where it's like, so for selling stuff and things like that, for buying, it's definitely different. Like, what are you doing? Like for me, yeah, I'm buying and selling, but I'm putting most of that money back into the hobby, and you need that. And those people that are, you did say something where I kind of disagreed a little bit, where you mentioned that the people that were doing this sort of those tactics that you're talking about are winning. I'd say they were winning for the first like 6 months because everybody could buy from everybody and flip it and buy high, sell higher, But I don't think it's working anymore. I think people are, the prices got too high.
Ooh,
They
okay.
got
Tell
too
me.
high. Yeah, they got too high. I mean, at first I agree with you, but I think people after a while, like, what is it George Bush said? Like, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on me again, or something like that, right? And so it's a stupid thing, but like, unless you're selling to somebody that dumb, because as the prices get up, the level of people that can buy and get in is cheap, right? Because all those YouTubers, Jake touched on this, and it's what some of those other YouTubers like Twice Baked Jake and PokeNav and a few others, like they'll say like one of the titles was top 10 investments that they don't want you to know about, like some YouTube ad secret, like stupid thing. Like it's one thing to say like here's cheap investments under 100 versus like here's cheaper alternative cards under $100 versus like say Tyranitar. It's like, okay, this card here is popular because the alternate art came out. So what cards, cheap alternative Tyranitar cards, you could buy it for whatever reason, but they're telling you to invest. And so to me, at a cheap level, everybody can invest and you can scare and hop all over each other. But at a certain point, as you start doing like hot potato, the prices get so high that there's less people to sell to. And it's not completely like correlation, like perfect, or causation, or however you want to say it. It's like at $10,000, it's going to be hard to flip it to some idiot, because at $10,000, there's not a lot of idiots that have that much money that are just willing to throw it around, They're not that.
That is true. That is true. That is true.
That's where I disagree, where it's like, after a certain point, the level that you need to keep flipping to is going to get so high that those folks that have that money are likely to not be as dumb and gullible as the folks at lower levels. Does that make sense? Like where
Absolutely. It makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, I'm glad that we disagree on that,
Yeah.
but in the end, I kind of think that we actually agree on the same premise.
Yeah,
of it,
exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, it's just when the time stop. I think, yes, I do think it's dying down, but I still think they're still winning a tad bit. Probably 40 to, I would say 60 to 40%. If I were to just guess,
Yeah.
I still think they're probably winning, but we do agree on the same premise. But I do agree with you that it's not going to last.
No,
it is not going to last. But it's already dying in front of my eyes. It's already dying in front of our eyes. So,
but what about other folks though like that? There's other folks like that, like Guru, right? Guru's already made enough money at this point where
exactly he's done.
But he can still continue. He's already got the knowledge and the depth. There's some people that are just, I don't like him, but I will admit he's smart. He pays higher prices than other folks out there, and so he's a good businessman. He's shady in the tactics that he uses, but he's probably still going to be successful. There's some of those folks that are there, but those folks that were using bots to say buy out a room of Shining Fates, right? That guy's going to get left holding the bag, like as you mentioned, when time stops. There's a lot of them that are going to lose, and I think there's going to be a few that will succeed, that'll continue to succeed, but it's going to come to an end at some point. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We'll go back to the comments. I apologize. Yeah. Every time we ask that question, I just keep on doing the same. How do you feel about vintage Chinese cards?
I don't collect them. I don't collect them, and they seem really niche and hard to find and be a part of. So it's something where you'd have to get a hold of and get into now, or get into ahead of time early when they were a lot more plentiful, because there's Chinese Legend Maker and there's first edition base set. Other than that, there's not really sets that are known, and so you're basically I think about it like this: the cards are really hard to find and they're expensive. They're just expensive at this point, and the people that already have positions have positions. So if you're going to go into it, it's basically your time to profit ratio is very slow because the cards aren't there, the cost is high. You might as well do into something else. So to me, it's unless you enjoy it, in which case, the time you spend to the time you get back to enjoy the cards for not monetary value can be worth whatever you want it to be. For me, some of these cards I paid for are stupid. Like this one's I paid like $2,000 something for this. It's probably worth more, but it's like what's the value to you? This card here from my Lodic, this is pop 8, and there's offers of about 18 grand out here, a lot more than what I paid. And at this point, it's about the enjoyment. I'm willing to spend that extra money on those cards because I enjoy them. That's worth it to me. And so that's what you have to think about. What is it that you're after, and what are you willing to sacrifice? Like the last book I was reading mentioned, it's not always about what you're willing to do to get what you want. It's about what you're willing to suffer with. Because everybody's willing to do hard work, but are you willing to do hard work at a job where your boss is demeaning, or there's a smell somewhere, or you're covered in crap? Like, what's the negative that you're willing to put up with for it? And so it's just I guess those are some of the things people have to ask with it. Like, they want to ask these rare cards, but they got to ask, what's your time to profit ratio? Like, if I put in this amount of effort, am I just waiting to hit a gold mine only, or is it just a matter of time? Things like that.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll go towards the layer because there's so many layers that I tell the people here, right? Okay, so the layer of opening the packs, right? Layer 1, you're paying to open up the packs because the profit margin, right? There's the end goal. The end goal is to get you to maximize, to get you the most profit. But the problem is that people always have a hard time getting to that end goal and to reduce all that risk. And that's why people are not making money. But we're going to go back on how I always go. We need to minimize all the little risks. Opening the packs, paying premium to get the cards graded, paying the fees of eBay, and the end, what are you going to get? And that's why people don't understand the profit, like just how to do it, and just in the financial aspect of it. That's why the hot potato, like you said. But anyways, we'll go back on that. There's so many questions. I've got to stop going on a tangent. I apologize, you guys. When companies open back up, how are you planning to mitigate the risk of slabs waiting to come back? Only sending vintage price? Oh, where you get the cards? Oh, price at where you get the cards. Oh, that's such a good question.
So let me just read this and think about it for a second. When companies open back up, are we talking about companies like PSA and grading companies?
Yes.
How are you planning to mitigate the risk of slabs waiting to come back?
Okay, so I think this is what he's asking, because I think this is such a great question. So when PSA cards, when PSA opens back up, right? So that means that most or some of the cards are sending back. How do you determine what cards to send in, right? To mitigate the risk of the slabs waiting to come back. So basically, all the cards are going to come back. Mm-hmm. And how do you determine which card that you're going to send towards the next batch to PSA? I'm assuming that's what he's asking. How do you know what cards to send when PSA opens back up to make sure that you have the most profit in your pocket? That's what he's asking.
Got it. Okay. So what I would say is that for me, I think about obviously price point, what I got it at, and I'm thinking about kind of where they're selling it right now and how certain I am. If the card is at least a 9 at this point, I think prior you could have gotten away with it. If it's going to be an 8, it's $7 to grade a card. So there really wasn't much downside to it. There's a PSA 8 for Alligator that has a print defect on it, and I put it for 85. Buy it now, and I get offers of $75, $70. The card was part of a set for $300, and I look at the price I got them at, and that Typhlosion from that set sold for $400 something. And so it was $300 for a complete set. And at that point, everything was free. So I look at the price point of what I paid for, what I think the grades are going to be, and I'm sticking to the more popular cards right now and the more popular sets. And I'm thinking about, again, am I planning to sell it now, or am I planning to sell it in the future? And so that's where I'm thinking about. I'm like, what did I pay for the cards? And I'm going to sell the bigger cards, because these smaller cards like the holos, here are these things like this. Those, what I'm planning to do is, I could sit on those. If I flip the big cards and I get those back and grade them, I could always wait till later. There's no downside for me at that point.
Gotcha. The next question is so funny. How much time do you need for your beard?
God, I just started growing it out this year. I've never been able to grow one, so I've been
I
enjoying the
will do it.
Pro beard.
I found 3 packs of Pokemon only for 2 packs. That's okay. Be right back. Oh, I suck at tag. I'm doing the same patience. Well, I'm totally behind the comments. Yeah, look, well, yeah, I'm totally. Yep, patience. Be careful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful.
God,
Ooh,
there, perfect.
that's a good one.
That's the
I
one.
like that. Exactly.
Yeah.
I like that. How do you? Oh, hey, Coulson, this is a new viewer. How do you feel about CGC as a service and a company long term? I love picking up the slabs and say a CGC 9 will be more expensive if it is a PSA 9, even when CGC card is in better condition. Okay, I like your take on this. I want to hear you first. Do you even send cards to a CGC? I like to hear your take on this because you definitely send a lot of cards in.
Yeah. I actually did my first submission to CGC. I did all of the EXs and Gold Stars from that master set purchase. So those were sent to CGC. And I was hoping for more 9.5s because I figured PSA was not going to give me 10s. So I did send those off. And I don't know. It's hard to gauge it because I saw a PSA 9 Lugia from Unseen Forces sell on PWCC auction with next to a CGC, and there was a PSA 9 version, and they sold within $100 of each other, around $1,000. So in a card like that, in some cards like first edition Tyranitar from Neo Destiny, there was a quad 9.5 that sold for pretty high, and there's a few other cards that are selling very high. It seems to be the popular cards because I think people are willing to pay that premium in CGC with the hopes of regrade or cross grading it later. But the other cards, I don't believe they're holding up their value right now. I think it'll close as more folks are going to be forced to experience CGC because of the PSA shutdown. So people are going to send more cards there. They're going to find that there's going to be more cards from all sorts of sets spread out. And if you can't find the PSA versions, because a lot of the PSA 9 EX cards are nowhere to be found. So if you see them in CGC and you just start coming across them, you're going to eventually start buying it. So I think that you're going to see the prices catch up down the line, but I don't ever think they're going to be equal. There's just too many in the PSA Pop Report to kind of make them equal on a lot of cards. On some big end, high end cards, I see that they will be, but I don't think that they're ever going to completely catch up. But I think CGC, I haven't got my first submission back yet, so I saw the grades. So I'll have to look at it to see if I agree, to see if they are in better condition, though. So that's just, maybe it's a bias because people can see the criteria by which it was given, and that makes it justified. But if you're not given it, but you're just given the grade, excuse me, you might look at PSA and be like, why did they give it this? I disagree with it. Versus CGC, if you see the subgrades, you're gonna look at it, you're like, okay, I see the area that they saw it, that's the corner, okay, it makes sense. And then you look at the rest of the cards and you see they knocked it down the same for the same subgrades, it makes sense. But with PSA, you don't know it. And like I talked about that study previously, people will make stuff up in their head. If they have no idea why they're getting something, they're going to make it up in their head. They're going to try to justify, I know better, I know this or that, or PSA doesn't know what they're doing, and they're not going to know. But with the subgrades, it maybe makes people accept it a little bit easier than if they got it from PSA. So I like CGC. I like their capacity. At some point, I hope that they can, with the label, that they can do what the comic book thing has, where they put the design in the background, like the set label. You could have, say, Unseen Forces in the background, and it's got the design of the logo for the set back there, or just the Pokemon in the background from the card. And for me, I would really like that, having the color capacity to change the label on there. So that's kind of what I think about it. I like it. Long term, it's going to be fine and not quite as close on the value, but it will be around 80-90% of PSA's value for similar grades.
Okay, that's a good answer. I agree with most of it. Gary was actually on here, and I kid you not, whoever watched that Gary stream, he went off on PSA. I vouch for me in the comments, you guys. He went off. I thought it was the best thing ever. I just let him talk. And I do agree with what he said. I do. I believe that CGC is great for people that want to flip the carts like that. I do believe it, just because of the turnaround time. But it's catching up right now because of due to what's going on at PSA. But I do think, and this is my pure opinion, and this is a quick disclaimer, pure opinion, you guys. I do think if it's a higher end card, like a first edition, like for what I have here. I totally forgot. I should have set this card out, but I did not. But all the cards, like for example, what I have here. Let me do here. Where's some of my cards on my binder? Like for this card, I totally forgot. I should have set this card out, but I did not. But I sent actually maybe 4 of them, but I should have sent this one out. So I have this card in super beautiful condition. And if I were to pick, I would do the wait time with PSA because I do believe that PSA will retain more value than CGC. But that's just my opinion. But if I were to probably set other cards like modern cards, I would be absolutely okay with it. Just to flip it real quick. But I don't really flip. You guys know me. I barely sell any of my cards.
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe it's for a quick flip. But I do believe maybe in the future they'll catch up. But I hate to say, but I do believe PSA is still king. I do.
Yeah, I agree with you there. It's just how it is. I don't think there's any way to catch up with a 20-year backlog.
Yeah. How long have you guys been collecting? I've been collecting for 7 years.
7 years, that's a long time.
That's a long time. It means he probably got some of the cards for a really great deal.
I know.
Great deal. Yeah, so yeah.
It's crazy. 7 years ago, how much the prices were till now. It's I mean
2 years ago.
2 years ago, 2019, I was looking at getting back in late 2019, and the prices weren't that bad, honestly. A lot of these EXs were $100 to $500 at the max for, say, a Lugia. And it's just, things have gone catastrophic at this point. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I think I've been collecting for 23 years. 23 years. Been doing it for a long time. Hey, how are you? I would like to know your opinion on long-term potential of Stamp Reverse's EX series. Looks amazing and sort of premium and still quite cheap. Thanks. Well, that's a great question. Great question. This is definitely your expertise on this. Great question.
So I kind of unfortunately hate to say it publicly because I kind of don't show a lot of things.
Say it.
I don't know what they're drilling out there, but the gold stars obviously are going to hold their premium. They're going to take the biggest spikes and they're going to come down. The EXs are actually holding stable. A lot of folks really don't understand that the EXs are a lot lower pop than the gold stars. I mean, most of the gold stars are between 50 to 100 pop, and those are really widely known. The EXs are second there for their population. Milotic being 8, some of those cards being like 200 in pop for a Charizard, and then down below at the holos, they're a lot lower pop. So I think you're not going to see them as often, and they're just as rare, and they didn't get graded. So when you look at that, like the condition-wise, I think long-term, those holos are really going to be worth a lot of money. PSA 9 and PSA 10, and then even raw as well. They're still very cheap, like you said. You get in a box, there's 12 heavy packs. You get often 2 to 5 EXs per box, and some of the sets like Unseen Forces has 13 EXs, and there's 19 holos. So you have 13 EXs and 19 holos. That's basically 22 and 32. So technically you would need at least 4 boxes just to get all the holos basically at that point. And it's just the price. It's cheap, for what you see. That's going to go for a lot, but then you also have to look at the bidding, because what I've noticed when I see a lot of those, if you go back to the Rayquaza.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Look at Bellsprout. Look at that.
Nice. Look at that.
Oh my Lord. She's everywhere. Okay. Sorry.
Go to Rayquaza. Go up.
There you go.
Yeah. And go to the bids. Let's see. Well, click
63.
Click on the bidder.
Huh?
Click on the bidder, the number.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, that one you can see, like, here's something as well, like, you can look at the number of bid retractions on there, and then the bid activity as well. I've noticed
bid retraction 0.
And then the activity is low.
It looks legit.
It does. It looks legit, and it's a popular card. But some of the people that I'm buying from, they're blocking out the bidder identity, and they've been re-uploading some of the cards.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been noticing that as well. Like people just, if they're willing to wait in line at Target for Pokemon cards to make $20 profit per 3 ETBs, they're willing to build their own items. There's no people are willing to do that. So like that Pikachu,
Ooh.
it's a popular card actually,
Yeah, it is.
and
It
so I
is.
understand. But then you look at it and you kind of understand: is it likely to be shill bid? Possibly. But to answer that question directly, just if I want to sum it up, has really good long-term potential. I think there's scarcity there just because of how many boxes you needed to open. Production was obviously probably the lowest, if not the lowest, out of all the eras, and you need many boxes to get there. They do scratch, and the artwork is absolutely amazing. So I think long-term, it'll do well for the EX reverse hollows. So that's what I think on that. Hopefully that helps you
Yeah.
kind of figure out whether
Yeah.
you want to get them early for your collection or buy to invest, but please don't bid against me.
It's went up a lot. So
Yeah.
went up. Yeah, some did. So it's not bad. Not bad.
I mean, honestly, they should probably be $20, $30 a card, basically, at some
Mm-hmm.
point. I don't know, how do you feel about those reverse hollows? Like, what do you think long term, based on the box price and the low production and the quality? What do you think you should see those at commons and uncommons? Just the average cards.
I will tell you this. I don't know, because I always tell people I don't have a crystal ball. But if I were to pick between modern and those, I would probably go with those. So I think they will probably most likely retain their value. They've gone up. They've gone up. Before I was buying them at like 75 cents. But this was, I think, probably like 3 years ago.
Mhm.
Not bad. Not bad. And I like them too. The timestamps are really nice. A lot of people think just because they have a timestamp, it's actually a rare hollow, but it's actually a reverse. Look at this one. This one's nice. They have another one that I really like. Oh my goodness, I was supposed to share my screen. I did not.
Oh,
Ignore that.
no.
What's going on? What is that?
So I talked about buying it. This stack is
Mm-hmm.
literally just like 200 unseen forces, reverse hollows, unknowns.
Mm-hmm.
I've just been buying them up. I love the sets.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, I just buy them. Sometimes I get some to grade, and if I'm making $75 to $150 a card profit on some of these cards, that's fine. I've been looking at them. I buy the lots as well. Like there was a lot on
Mm-hmm.
eBay where it was like reverse hollow Typhlosion, Ho-Oh, Vaporeon, and I won the 20. It was a 20 lot card of Unseen Forces, reverse hollows and hollows, near mint condition for $85, $90. And
Mm-hmm.
just alone, Ho-Oh goes for like nearly $100 by itself. So I've been picking up lots of those lots and just putting them together in here and just setting them aside and just holding them. I mean, this is basically like 75.
Oh, wow.
So that's just
Do
nothing.
you want to just show them real quick? Let me exit
Yeah.
this out. There
So
you go. How much did you sell them for? I'm sorry, how much did you purchase them for? A little bit upper. Hold it up a little bit more up. There you go.
Yeah, so honestly, these like $10 a card or so.
Oh, wow. They went up, though, for sure.
They have, but there's other lots where I found pack fresh reverse hollows where it was $40 for 20 of them, so $2 a card.
Where are you buying? What lots? Where are you buying these at?
On eBay, knowing how to search on Instagram as well, people know that I'm after these cards. I buy them in all conditions from lightly played up to near mint. I grade a few, and that cuts back, that basically gives me the cost back on what I paid. And then I just sit on these. These are basically at this point, from the sets and everything, it's free,
Gotcha. Are you grading some of these or no?
Yeah, I've graded some of these. Most of these would probably grade between 7 and 8.
Gotcha.
So that's what I do.
Gotcha. I need some of those cards in better condition. If you are selling, we know I'm gonna hit you up, and you guys know where to hit. You guys know I have will put everything at the end. There you go. They said Whitney. Hey, hello. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Whitney was a nightmare. The cow horror. Oh my goodness. They know we are talking about the cow horror, so they know.
Yep.
Look at that comment.
I hated that bitch.
Oh my god, that's so I hate it.
Yep.
That is so funny. That's the best comment. I laugh. There you go. As a new collector, I just want to open packs but can't find any. It's hard.
Yeah.
It is hard. You will be able to soon. Exactly. Soon. Soon. She owns a farm after our. There you go. Thank you for so much for helping with the chat.
Yeah.
Pop 3 Fire Energy PSA. Only 69K.
Yep.
Wow, like it's a deal. 69K. If you're in the market genuinely, you're going to win anyways. Long term handle. I
Yep.
absolutely agree. Well, you have to be you have to be smart about it too. SGR,
Exactly.
right. There's people that are in the hobby genuinely, but they're willing to put or not put, but they're willing to pay $27 for Shining Fates a pack, which I've seen. Okay, that's not you're gonna win, but probably not. There are gonna be people that are smart. They're gonna win way. It depends. Okay, it really depends. How you gonna financially be? How are you financially in the hobby? That's just my God. I can't talk today. How are you financially planning in the hobby? It's actually how. It's definitely there, but actually, top three personal characteristic long term as a collector. Ooh, that's such a good question.
Personal characteristics.
Patience. There's one. Yeah. So
Okay.
that's what he. Yeah.
Your traits. Okay.
Traits. Yeah.
Yeah. What are yours? Give me your 3. Let's see.
Okay. Well, I want yours as well.
Okay.
Patience. I think it's definitely. I'm going to repeat this again. Take a shot every time I say patience. You guys will probably pass out. Patience.
Already there.
Already there. Patience. Do your research. Do it. Do your research. And when it comes to research, be on not a lookout, but be very diligent on who you're listening to, right? Figure out what their motive is. What is their gain in selling you something, right? And that comes with research, because a lot of people can promise you golds and riches, but what is their motive in selling you that product, right? And I think that's where a lot of collectors and a lot of people that lose their most money is who they're listening to and not knowing the difference, as in, okay, are they generally trying to sell me something and thinking this is the best interest for me, or is it the best interest for them, right? Because I've seen it in Facebook, and I've seen it on YouTube, I've seen it in Discord, where people are saying, oh look, a Bellsprout just sits here. Okay, so look, she's sitting there, she's just saying that, this Bellsprout, when I get 1K, it's gonna be given away. And this is, see, look at this Bellsprout. So as a seller, right, I can go and I can't live with myself if I do this ever. And I tell somebody who don't understand Pokemon, I say, Bellsprout, first edition, 9.9, rare, and rare, right? This card is
It
first
sounds like you're
edition.
talking to a kid.
I mean, like rare. And my motive is to make the most money out of the people that are selling, who are very misguided. So just my point is just doing the research, knowing what their intent is to selling that card and selling you something. Because I have seen on, like I said, in Discord, where people are just bullshitting. I apologize. That's the word. I can't even pronounce it. Just BSing their sell, and there's just no way the other person can make money. That's my intent. And another one is probably that's number 2, and number 3 is patience. Do your research, of course. I don't know what number 3 is. Help me out here.
I agree with you on patience. I mean, that would have been the reason why I wouldn't have sold what I had sold. Oh, sorry. Whoops. I'm still used to the chat and everything else like that. I forgot. Feel free to mute me in between. if you're speaking and the noise is bad in the background, let me know, and yeah, I'll mute it.
No, mute it.
Yeah. So I'd say be right with patience and things like that. That would be fine. knowledge, but I also think kind of just being passionate about it. Because if you want to
Oh,
research,
that's true.
yeah, like
That's true.
passion makes you really dig into the research. If you're doing reading and other things like that, it's it's hard to really get into it if you're not passionate about it. It's like reading a book, you know, it's like it's hard to get into it if you're not passionate about it. And then the last one, because I was thinking about it, was I'd say take breaks, but I don't know how to define that as a characteristic. Like, you know, somebody who is able to step away and kind of distance themselves sometimes. Because with the hype and everything going on, it can be kind of stressful to stay in the hobby and try to stay engaged and to be a part of it. It's difficult. And so I'd say sometimes you just need to take a break. You're pushing hard. And I think sometimes you need to be able to take a distance from things, you know, because it's stressful. Even if you enjoy it, things around the hobby can stress you out, or things involved in it can really, you know, make you burn out. And so you don't want to burn out with it. It's about the long-term process. And if you burn out, you're going to miss things, you know? And so I don't know what kind of characteristic you would call that though, but it sounds like it's part of patience. You know, patience is waiting, but I also think kind of learning how to maybe have a work-life balance, you know, because it is a hobby, but there is numbers, and depending on how strong of a collector you are or what you're doing, you know, with YouTube and everything else, you've got to learn how to distance yourself from it. That way you don't get burned out on it. I think that's kind of having a goal-oriented thing, or sort of rules or things like that. So adaptability.
Adaptability and flexibility. Probably flexibility. I disagree with adaptability. I do, because I don't believe in the whole adapt, or what did one guy said it once? I forgot. It was one of my friend who was trolling me. He's like, adapt to these prices or die. And I said, I disagree. We don't have to adapt, because when it comes to buying and selling, you need two to tango, dear. If there is no buying, there's no selling there. I disagree. I completely disagree with adaptability, but we'll go from there. So I'm gonna go back to the comments. I do not want to we go here. Go here. Okay. Very monolic. That's really nice. Vintage cards not popular. I agreed. I collect all these Chinese. Sometimes the comments on the StreamYard, they refresh. I don't even Spanish. Jackie, if you collect, that's fine. Hey, look at your private chat real quick. Sometimes the thing, just look at your private chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if you collect because you like it, then that's fine, but don't pay high prices for them. That's true. It's true. Be patient. Be patient. That's what I always tell, because so many cards are coming back and will reduce in price. How do you mitigate junk slap prices? That's a good question. How do you mitigate the junk slap prices type thing? Oh, I totally believe there's going to be so many junk slabs. Absolutely agree. Oh, I totally agree.
Yeah, it's I think there is going to be a junk slab, but I think it depends on where you're doing it with. If you're doing Wizards of the Coast and EX series, maybe even Diamond and Pearl, you're going to be fine. You know, but the issue comes with I don't want to call him out in a bad way, because I actually like his content. I like him for his fitness stuff. But a lot of people know of Nick Strength and Power. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
No, not at all.
So Nick Strength and Power has a Pokemon channel, Nick Strength and Pokemon. And he's a great guy. He does commentary and news reporting for fitness and things like that. But for Pokemon, he's been opening up evolutions like every 1, 2, or 3 boxes a week. And the way he talks about it, like he's enjoying it, but he's also kind of talking about it with that background of it's going to be worth money. You know, like I'm enjoying it, but it's going to be worth money. And I think when you do that and you're doing modern, it's kind of like, oh, it's always going to be worth money. It's going to go up in value. Like it can't go down. You do that. And I think that's a bad way to look at it, because he sent off like 50 Charizard evolution holos and reverse holos. And then he's sending off every single like reverse holo and Charmander thing. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to grade the whole set. And he's going crazy for it. But it's also in a way that he enjoys it. But it's also like, it's kind of hard to put it, but he's kind of like bought into the hype and trying to rationalize it. Like, oh, it's fine. It's great. You know, this set is going to do amazing. He said it's going to be a $10,000 box in like 3 to 5 years for evolutions. And I'm just like, this guy's brand new, talking about grading every single reverse holo, commons for Pikachu, Charmander, things like that. And he's grading 50 evolutions. I'm like, you're not special. No offense. I love his content, but just that mentality, that going after those evolutions and monitors, there's nothing special about it. Everybody's doing it. And so if everybody's doing it, it's not special. And the prices are going to tank because in reality, who is really going to keep that for the long term? 50 evolutions Charizards. Are you going to make a wall out of it? Maybe for him, but all the others, are you really going to do that? I got these in the background here, the paintings, and I'm going to hang them up because I enjoy it. I enjoy the artwork, and I did something strategic, and it's planned out. And my EX cards, they're going to be. I'm just completing the set. There's a goal, but I'm not going to get like 50 Espeon Unseen Forces cards from PSA 2 to PSA 8 and be like, oh yeah, these are amazing. It's just like they're never going to go down. And so
Yeah.
that's the mentality I see with all these other folks. If you're
Yeah.
grading that many cards, 500, 1,000 evolutions cards, and everybody's doing that for
Oh,
every.
it's coming back. It's coming back. It's all gonna come back.
It
That's what
is.
I've seen it. I was showing other people on the stream evolutions on Verbank, Pokemon World, and that's just two
Yeah.
that I stalk. I stalk a lot of Facebook, but that's two I mainly stalk, as in like heavily monitored to by myself. And they're going on there. It's not selling.
Can I
And
ask
that
you?
remember, yeah, go ahead, ask me a
I want to
question.
get your opinion on this.
Oh,
Obviously,
hey Dima, how are you? Okay.
there's going to be a junk slab era, right?
Oh, of course, firmly
But
believe it.
not every card is going to obviously be in that category. What do you think the effect of junk slab will be on other cards? Because that's obviously going to people are doing that hoping to make money, and they either do that because they're going to make money or they're going to do that to buy other cards. How many folks do you think that have gotten burned from the pack breakers and just buying these cards? How many of those folks in the junk slab era are going to leave, and how do you think that era or those cards specifically are going to affect the other parts of the market? Like,
okay, no problem. No problem. I will totally. I've made this. I vented. This is another PokeGal's tangent. I'm a quick disclaimer. I'm gonna answer this real quick because I'm pretty sure everybody has heard this. It will come back, and I've already seen it right now with Verbank and again with Pokemon World, and people reaching out to me. Jake is here. Oh, hey, what's up? So I do believe once they come back, okay, and I've made a huge prediction to the moon, to the moon, to the moon. The people that think they're gonna make so much money with evolutions to the moon, to the moon, to the moon, like Jake said, they're gonna eventually leave. But that's okay. Some will stay. But welcome. Stay. We need you. We need you to stay. But the very same people that are going to have all these junk slap listening, misguided collectors who have all these junk slap. Stay. Ooh, what is that? What is that? That's a huge echo. What did you do? That's just me saying again. That's me repeating myself. But I do believe that they're going to learn, right? Experience is the best teacher. Dwight from The Office. Experience is the best teacher. And they gonna learn. And they gonna learn eventually what to grade, what cards to grade, right? And they're gonna learn how to properly maximize how they spend their money and maximize the card. But how do I think it's going to affect other older cards like the EX series, right?
Wizards of the Coast.
Wizard of the Coast. I think, and this is what I think it's probably not going to make a dent in it. I don't. Really? Because I do. This is what, and that's again, this is my opinion. This is letting you guys know. Why? Okay. Why? Because I think the people that are in it for the money, they're going to leave once they realize they're not going to make money. Okay. Once they realize they're not going to make money, they're going to leave. Do I think they're going to stay and buy your cards like the Wizard of the Coast? I don't. Because they're in the first place for the wrong reason, right?
Yeah.
I do. That's what I do. Second, the cards that you have, all the EXs, there was some organic demand in the beginning, right? Because the sets are pretty popular. So eventually, just right now, like all the collectors that I brought in, they said, I still want those cards. And I've talked to a lot of collectors who said, the EX series, eventually people are coming back in to start to collect them. And they have that organic demand that people have in the beginning. So I don't. Do I think, and that's answering it different. Do I think that your cards are going to sell as high as a couple months before? No, I don't. But not And that's because it's going to go back. It's going to stabilize. That's what I think. It's not because of the junk slap era. The junk slap era is just going to cause people to leave. That's what I believe. And I believe that's when a huge factor in the market being stabilized is when people are in it for the wrong reason or going to leave when they find out they're not going to make money. So that's hopefully that's my opinion. That's my opinion. So
no, that's a good point. Bring that up.
people are pumping unless yeah, exactly. How many of these cards are going to come back? And I made a joke. I said if first edition Bell Sprouts are going to be $100 raw, everybody who watches my stream gets $100. I made it. That's a joke.
Yeah.
So no shield bidding though. People will start to buy the card. Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
GMA.
Then how many cards will see? How? Yeah, I'm late. Hey, basic trader. Oh no. Oh, do you even want to tackle this question? That's hard. You know who TCC is? You made a video about him. Oh my god. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna step out on this one. But if you want to do it, you can do it. I'm gonna step out on this question because I went on tangent on Swami things. So I'm gonna step out before everybody hates me.
I'll take on him. Honestly, he's built up a following. I think this is what Jake has talked about. Where
don't hold back.
There's a psychological aspect to that whole fandom and stuff. I think we were talking about earlier, and I forgot about it because there's so many topics and things going on. Sometimes you get lost and you're like, oh, I want to go after that point or that. But what we were talking about with the people doing the pack breaks is that how can you genuinely say that you care about your audience and your community, like us, like, you know, and you're charging people 50, 70, 80% above market value. Why not just put people on a list and have an approved list for buyers and then randomize it, you know, and have like set aside a quarter of the packs for special buyees for, say, influencers and other stuff like that. Because it's marketing, right? Like, you know, for them, it's like, hey, if you want preferred, you're going to pay extra to those folks, you know, for advertisement and stuff like that versus your regular fan base. It's like, okay, charge them 20% like Z&G does. And so to me, that's just, it's shady and doing things like that. So when you think about it, like, how can you genuinely trust somebody that is willing to take advantage of their own people? Somebody that's willing to make that much money in profit, can you really trust them to do the grading, you know, unbiased at that point? When you look at character, you have to have character, integrity, doing the right thing or doing the things that you say. You know, those things have to be there. And to me, TCC lacks integrity. He lacks any bit of, you know, if I'll admit it, honesty. You know, there's nothing transparent. He's hiding things. If people get angry and, you know, they block people out, they can't stand to hear other people talk about it, and you have to censor it, then most likely there's something there. You know, it's like, you know, you have a conversation with somebody and they get mad about something. You're like, I'm just mentioning it. If it's not true or not this, then why do you get mad about it? Why do you get bothered about it? Because clearly there's some shred of it there, you know? And so I don't think you could ever trust somebody that doesn't have integrity. You know, at least in my opinion, he's not somebody that's trustworthy or has any integrity. You know, if you're willing to take advantage of your audience in that way, you're just, in my opinion, you're not a good person. First of all, if you claim we and us and hide behind those things, you know, and you know, it's what credibility do you have at that point? You know, it's like, what experience do you have either? You know, it's I wouldn't even be able to say I'd do a grading company as well. You know, I don't know how many of us in the hobby could realistically do that, you know, to realistically do a grading company and do that. You know, I just couldn't trust them, you know, and I feel like it's everybody's jumping in as well. I don't know who was talking about it, but everybody's jumping in and making their own grading company at this point. And that's when you know things are kind of scary as well. Like, first of all, why would you even put money in his company at that point? It doesn't make any sense. Even if he is legit and trustable and trustworthy, I just made up a word, trustable. So why would you send your cards to him? You know, it doesn't make sense. There's nothing to gain from it at that point. Like, neither from a collection standpoint, like for collection integrity, or for, you know, any sort of integrity if you want your value to go up later. You know, it's like everybody's jumping into it. Why would you trust most of those other companies at that point? So it's
correct. I'm going to say something, and I firmly believe, I'm going to look at the camera when I say this.
Yeah.
that the Pokemon community needs to speak out against this guy. I firmly, firmly believe. Dislike this comment. I dislike this video. I don't even care. Dislike because I was part of his channel at the beginning. I started to make YouTube videos because of that, because of him. Okay, I've never been a huge social media person, not at all, but I started to do it. He started about opening packs about, I don't know, a year ago. And I was beginning, I understand he's hustling, he's making all of that. Until I noticed what he was doing. And that's when I quickly left. I became friends with about 50 people that purchased from him in the beginning. 50 guys, 50. They're all my friends on Facebook. Not one single person made money listening to him. Not one single person. Not one single person. They all, and not how many people stayed, all that 50, not even one. And that's what I've been saying. You need all the people, you need the 50 people who left to buy your collection, because the people that are doing this the most are hurting. Here we go, tangent again, right? You need to speak up against people that are hurting the community, because you want people to stay in the hobby. You want to. Without, like I said, without the people in the hobby, all these investment and all the things that you have spent so hard in would be useless, would be nothing, absolutely nothing. That's what it was. Nobody made money. And I saw it my own self. It was a Snorlax EX. He bought that card on eBay for $800. I saw it myself. And he went, and he's this other guy who knows nothing about Pokemon. Nothing about Pokemon. He told that guy, he bought it for $800. He opened the pack, opened the PSA card, and the PSA card matches the number. I went on sold listing. He opened it. He told that guy that card was worth $3,500. When on Burbank Pokemon World back then, it was only $750. And I had to message that guy secretly on Discord. I said, do not pay $3,500 for that card. And I shoot him that link to Burbank and Pokemon World, whatever it was. And he eventually bought it from that guy. And that's the thing, because people fall into this trick so often, and he does this. You never, ever, ever, ever pay for a card for what you think it will be worth, or what he thinks will be worth. You pay for the market price of what it is, right? You never, ever. That's how you lose so much money. When someone sells you something, don't be gullible and says, okay, I will pay you more because I think this card will be worth $5,000 in 5 years. Never, never. That's a stupid Timmy. Oh God, you guys, I just keep on going on this, but that's where the problem lies right now, right? When people are willing to overpay for they think what the card is worth in 5 years. How do you even know that card's worth in 5 years? That's where the problem is. Anyways, I'm going to move on. I want to dip tangent on this already with this guy. I will refuse to go. Who is that? Let's not even go. Oh. Thoughts on thoughts on buying already graded vintage booster packs, i.e. potentially light pack that is raw versus raw. I'm sorry, that is graded versus raw heavy.
Thoughts on buying already graded. So that's kind of weird, because if you buy light, if you buy it at graded cost, it's already marked up in value because it's graded, especially if it's in a PSA 10. So you might as well pay a raw heavy price at that point, because you're getting a raw heavy. But if you buy graded, being like potentially light heavy, the only way you're going to find out is if you crack it. So to me, I mean, I don't know I don't know, I could be wrong, but I don't know if you can weigh those packs, those graded booster packs, and tell the difference between it. Some people say you can't weigh the blister packs. I disagree. I've done that before. You can weigh blister packs, but a graded booster pack, I don't think that you can grade it or weigh it and know the difference between a light and heavy. So at that point, you're paying the already high cost of a raw heavy. So to me, if you're buying it for the graded value, then do that. But if you're buying it with the potential of doing light or heavy, then don't.
Gotcha. Thank you for that. Let me go here. We're so behind on the comments, so I'm gonna go here. Are you finding new ways to flip? Oh, to flip to fund your collection since getting back from PSA are no longer. Oh, that's a good question. That's such a great question. Taking back. Okay, yeah. So how are you flipping? Are you just probably using CGC to flip the cards, right? And to fund your collection. So basically, he's saying that since
Yeah.
PSA is now closed, how are you finding the funds to flip the cards and so forth?
So for me, I have like 4 or 5 sources of income, and they're kind of spread out and varied. And so for me, I'm using those to basically buy cards, whatever I have after my bills. I'm basically taking that money and buying it in like those 11 EX master sets that I'm purchasing. I'm buying those. But where I made most of my profit and where I made the right moves was early on. I bought lots of sets and I sent them all to PSA. So I just kept sending stuff on a continuous basis so that at some point it would come back around, basically. So that's what I did. And so obviously I have to wait longer for PSA, but I'm basically continuing the same thing. I'm just buying cards, again, sending the higher value to CGC to get them back quickly to flip, sending the bulk stuff to PSA, and just constantly having stuff in the works, because that's the mistake everybody made early on in May, June, and July. Was they were like, you know what, I'll wait. And next thing you know, it's going to be 12 months. I'll wait till it dies down. It dies down. It didn't die down. And so if you're constantly sending in, it doesn't matter how long PSA takes. As long as you're constantly sending in, you're going to constantly get back cards from the grade company. And it's just going to spread out. It's going to be fine. So I haven't changed strategies at all with that. I'm constantly flipping raw cards, but you have to have that passion and knowledge of Pokemon to know which cards to pick instinctively. There was a few other folks like Z and G will talk about it. And I think Jake talks about it, and I saw SM Pratt talk about it. A lot of us can, even yourself, we can just look at cards and know that's a smart move to buy that card at that price or to grade that card, because we know the hobby. At this point, it's instinctive. We know already what to buy, what to pick up based on past experiences, watching the trends of growth come up and down. We've seen curves, we've seen sets come out and then drop. And so it's just instinctive at this point. Just continue to buy, continue to send in. I keep some of the cards here that are raw until another point later on where either the raw card price goes up on those EXs or I just send them in. So it's just strategy hasn't changed. Just somebody asked about price point earlier, and that to me has changed the cards that I considered sending in. So the levels that you send it in and then which cards you send in will change, but sending in cards to get graded to increase the value hasn't changed. So I'm not really finding new ways of it. You could try to learn other hobbies, but again, that goes back into passion. If you're passionate about it, then it will be easy to get into it and find ways to make money. But if you're not, it goes back to time versus benefit ratio. If I would like to make money on Dragon Ball Super, I've watched it as a kid. Obviously, it's not anywhere near close to my favorite series compared to Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho. But I know the characters, and I could probably find some cards that would be beneficial long term or to flip graded. So mostly doing the same thing, but trying to branch out into other hobbies. That's the only way that I kind of am finding new ways to potentially flip. So hopefully that answers that question.
Gotcha. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna scroll down because I'm way behind the comments because of my tangents. My bad. I saw you collect some other items that you've shown. Do you collect any? Oh, how do I pronounce this?
Weiss
Shorts. Okay,
Yeah.
cards at all. I don't know what this is. If you
I
have
didn't know
any,
about
show
it
me.
until last week. I didn't know anything about it. Yeah.
Show me.
I don't know. I don't have any. I don't collect any.
Oh,
But
you did it.
it's super popular. It's from what I gather. I could be wrong. Correct me in the chat. But I think it's basically like this weird card game where they collect other franchises. If anybody's played,
okay.
It's basically like say there's an anime out there and it's popular. They'll make a whole set, like a TCG set or a block, out of that particular anime and its characters. So it basically incorporates other series and characters into it. That's what I gathered from it. Again, I could be wrong.
Ooh, I think this is it. Oh, they're anime girls with big bosom. Okay. Oh, I see. Whoa.
Now we know
what is this? Oh my goodness. Ooh. Whoa! What is this? It?
I don't know if we could throw
Oh,
those
is
cards
this
on
it?
screen.
Oh, we could put them on my. Oh no, that's Love Live Sunshine. That's not it. Okay, I was going on the wrong subject here. Okay. Okay, let me know, guys. I'm gonna do my research on the wrong. Did I
Oh
totally
God.
share my wrong screen? I totally. Oh, oh my God!
Oh,
I
you
totally did
know,
not even share the screen. I was looking at this. I was like, "What is this?"
I
Maybe
mean,
it was a good thing I didn't share what I was looking. I'm like, "What
everybody can
is
go
this?"
careful.
That's it. Look at that. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
men, women alike, they all enjoy it.
oh.
You know, when you talked about bosoms, it's the weirdest crossover. There was a game from this other YouTuber where
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could look at, it's like a boob challenge from anime, but
Uh-huh.
it wasn't just women. They had men on there, so it was like guess the character from other animes based on
Oh.
their chest profile, and Hisoka was
Oh.
actually one of the characters. People,
Uh-huh.
like the guys were like, "Oh yeah, I know that's my man Hisoka. I know that chest anywhere." Like,
She looks young. Oh
yeah, that's
my. Oh, but there's a pig. Okay.
oh
Oh my lord.
yeah,
I'm definitely
seven
gonna
deadly
look
sins.
at this
Seven
later.
deadly
What is
sins.
going on? Okay,
Yeah,
totally. That's the rabbit hole there.
yeah.
Thanks, Connor. Thank you, Connor. I like that. Do you believe PokeTubers, especially those who are in the conversation base, will be the bridge between other possible dead era and the next boom? Oh, that's a good question. I don't even know how to answer this one.
That's a hard question to answer.
That is. That is. And it might be controversial, but you guys, anything here, it's all opinions. Some I firmly agreed,
Moo moo milk.
firmly have a strong opinion on, as you guys know. But it is just pure opinion, disclaimer. While you do that, I'm gonna look at
Oh,
some
you're gonna go
cards
back to the
for
bosoms?
yeah, I'm gonna go back with that card.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah. I'm not looking. They got real moo moo milk. Oh my god, you guys with the comments are killing me over here. Oh, anime and their physics. Okay, I'll stay away from that. I'll stay away from that.
Oh,
Uh,
look at the chat. Ooh, I
I
was
know I
looking
saw
at.
that.
I was like, what is
Um,
going on with these cards? Now,
they got
wide
excited
swords. Now I know now.
by Milk
Ooh.
Tank and the moo moo milk.
Milk tank, exactly.
Do you? This is a. So I'm trying to understand it. So basically, the same the same people that are going to lead to the dead era are going to be the same ones that are going to be in the next boom era. Is that what it's kind of asking? I think your mic's muted.
I said I'm not too sure. My comments refresh, and I'm so sorry, you guys. My comments just refreshed, and it just disappeared. So, oh my lord, I'm so sorry. I can't go back to the question because StreamYard does this sometimes. I'm getting really kind of irritated that sometimes the comments on the side it will refresh and I can't catch up in the comments. Darn it. Okay, I don't know. I do not. I missed that comment completely. Just refresh it on itself. It's kind of sorry about that. Basic trainer. I think he's asking if the PokeTubers can actually mend the bridge between the new era and the older era. That's what I think he's asking. I
Okay.
cannot find the question because StreamYard, what I streamed, just totally refreshed and it cut off all the comments. I'm really sorry if I miss your question is because the comments got cut off. Darn StreamYard. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, no. I mean, I guess if you look at it in the positive light,
Mm-hmm.
because they do have a community and a following, it will keep people in the hobby more than if they weren't around. So whether or not it'll be a boom area, I don't know. But the way I guess I think about it is those folks are going to keep people from leaving the hobby if they weren't around because they have that sense of community. You know, you got Leonhardt and PokeRev, you know, Poke Positivity and all this sort of stuff. You know, kind of
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of cheesy, but you know, it works, you know, and stuff like that. And people like it, you know, that it's personal preference, again, what you like, but that's going to keep people engaged in the hobby and staying in the hobby. You know, they have another reason to stay besides the prices. It's the community. They like to watch the people that are doing these channels. They like to watch them grow. You know, I see the comments in here about you know, people like it for your rants and other stuff like that. So people are going to stay in the hobby. You know, they're going to, 10, 20, 30 people are going to stay because you're making videos and content. So the thousands of folks that are going to stay in the hobby because of these PokeTubers, I don't know if it'll lead to a boom, but I know that it'll prevent as many folks from leaving the hobby if they weren't around. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I don't think it'll be a boom, but I think it'll prevent the hobby from having a big drawback or exodus, than we would have had without them.
Gotcha. I'm just trying to fix the comments. I'm not too sure what happened. It's just completely. I don't agree with adapt or die, but if you didn't adapt in the top market, you lost money. And if you're gonna adapt for it, the prices decline. In some ways, yes and no. But yeah. Everybody has their opinion. I disagree. There's so many. I think they're having evolutions to the moon. I apologize, you guys. Adaptability is a person should learn. It will make
It is.
We'll talk about that. In some ways it's true. In some ways there's some things that you do adapt, and some things you know what you don't have to. Sometimes you're like, nope, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. If I'm not gonna do it, whatever, you do your own thing. Someone will adapt, but not to me. In some ways, yes and no. PokeGal, when they said adapt or die, we will adapt, or we are, by complaining, make them print flood. And that's true, exactly. We don't adapt, we'll complain. No print.
But will it work though? I don't know if you heard about Dragon Ball Super.
No, tell me about it.
They had a reprint that happened, and I knew that they were going to reprint it because they messaged it, and they said on the boxes, on the packs, it'll say reprint or second edition, but the cards were not going to say anything. So at that point, it's kind of useless, I suppose, because the cards aren't. There's no designation on the cards, but people complained enough about it that they actually did put RE on the card to signify a reprint. So if they are listening, I think that's Bandai. Pokemon, obviously, and Nintendo do whatever they want, but who knows? With enough complaining, it could work.
I absolutely agree. Oh yeah, with law, when people complain and people protest and they write and do the petition, things will change. I kid you not. That's why I say it's a yes and it's a no, right? We don't have to adapt. I've learned with law, it's very fluid, right? When people just complain and complain, yeah, it'll change. Hey, there you go. I sent your stuff today, by the way. When Pokemon comes out with NTFs, will there be a huge effect on the Pokemon cards? Another heavy question. Your take on this? This is heavy.
I don't even know anything. I mean, I think Gary V, obviously, again, you have to take his word with a grain of salt, because he's never, again, I could be wrong, but I don't think he's ever an early adopter to anything, right? So he's not an early adopter. He's like a hype. There's another word for it, but basically momentum investing. As things are gaining trends, people are good at catching on to trends ahead of time. And so from that, he's obviously going to hype on it and talk about it, and therefore it grows. So he learns about it, he buys into it, and he realizes that it's a trend, then he talks about it, which gives him more views, and then it causes it to grow, right? So he, again, take it with a grain of salt, because he said NFTs are going to be the next Amazon, but he said that 97 to 98% of NFTs are going to collapse into nothing. And so if Pokemon does release it, that's a hard question, because if they release it, it will be successful. But will it transition to the cards? That's a question to ask, because it's always been known for the cards and the games. But the NFTs, unless they create their own video game, where you can create like a Tamagotchi thing and you can display your Pokemon, I suppose. I don't see how it would really last long term. But again, NFTs, from what Gary V said himself, is that 97 to 98% will die. So if you think that much of the market's going to die, why would you really want to be involved in it? It's like, unless you're, again, an early adopter and you can afford to sit on the sidelines and let it go, like you sell enough to cover your initial cost and a little profit, and you just sit on the rest, then sure, that's fine. But everybody else, I would stay away from NFTs, and in my opinion, I would stay away from it. I don't feel comfortable with it. And most people that are into it are saying, 90+% is going to fail. So, it's are you willing to risk that? I'm not willing to risk it. I've done enough pack openings where I'm gonna stick to the tried and true formula of flipping cards and dealing with that. If you like NFTs, collect it, but If you don't, and you just want to stick to, the cards and stuff like that, if you want to stick to these things, you just want to enjoy like, nice cards and have fun with it, then, do that. But it's too much of a risk. I'm just going to stick to what I know and stick to a plan and a formula that's worked for years and has worked for every single collector out there. We all buy cards and collections, and you either sit on it and later on you can sell it for more, or you just grade it and flip it and then buy more collections. But if you want to try something new, go ahead and risk it. But I don't feel it's worth the time or the money or the gamble, the risk. Like you mentioned, that all the risks that go involved into a pack buying, to a grading, to a selling, is it really worth it? I don't think it is.
Nice. Thank you so much. I don't really know much about NFTs, so thank you for that. I apologize if I missed your questions, you guys. Like I said, StreamYard just totally cut off like half of the comments. So if I missed your question, it's not done purposely. It's just blame it on my streaming system. I apologize. He featured me in one of the videos. What do you mean? Who? I don't know who, but thank you. Who? I'm not too sure who.
Really?
I totally the dark. Oh God.
You might mean that. That's what I'm assuming.
TCC feature me? Never. I decline if he featured me on one of his videos. Oh, I decline. Oh, okay. I don't know who featured me, but this can't be. He does not. He knows what he's doing. Don't get me wrong. He knows that he's just lying to a lot of his buyers. Don't get me wrong. But he obviously, I know. Oh, we already talked about this. Oh no, Blazer, we are not going back. Just rewind it back. I went on a tangent. Let's not go back, Blazer OP. Let's not go back. We already went on a tangent about this. This question was already asked. This question was already asked. I'm telling you, the community needs to speak up. Because if they don't, it's not gonna look good. If they don't, we need to.
What did they feature? Blazer.
What an embarrassment! Exactly. What an embarrassment for a hobby. I absolutely. I will buy. Oh, if it's true, it's time to shut him down. Pokenomics. This is how I reach out to Pokenomics, because I've been in the hobby for so long, and I caught on really quickly what he was doing. I caught on so quickly what he was doing, and it's so sad. Like, it was so sad. And I have permission to disclose this because he's became a really good friend of mine. He used to buy from the Card Economist, and he was spending tens of thousands of dollars. And the Card Economist was saying, "You're the best investment ever." And anyways, all this stuff, he ended up losing like thousands and thousands, does not even make a single penny. And TCC, the Card Economist, was telling this, one of my other friend, who's now my friend, was saying, "Buy this card now. It's so hot in the market." He bought that card. He listed it in Pokemon World, or just like, a card of collectors or something. Crickets. Nobody wanted that card. Crickets. I'm telling you. And he goes, "That card's not selling." I'm like, "Well, yeah, because because you didn't do your research, And that's the thing. But you guys, I will have to cut this early. I did not know it's been 2 hours already. All my tangents. See, I told you, every time I tell all of my guests who comes on my stream, they're like, what are the questions? I go, don't worry. The time will go by so fast, you don't even know. I was like, you don't worry, the chat will get into it. And anyways. So they're talking about that man again. Anyways. Anyways, we gotta go. You go, Pokemon. Thank you. I will keep on going. This is the reason why I do not bring box breakers on to my life. There's only one box breaker that I would consider, because I saw the trend with what they're doing, and I firmly believe they'll hurt the market, right? And the reason why I did it when I made the decision is when someone approached me. I will never disclose who this person is. Disclosed me and says, "I want to buy your collection. I want to buy your booster boxes, and it's for my own personal collection." And I like, okay. And I said, cool. I love to help collectors out. And then I did a little bit of digging, and I found out that he does this, and he just for example, he buys a booster box for 3,000, and he puts it on he buys a booster box for 3,000, and he would just resell it open pack, and he'd do it for sell it for 6,000 when the market price for the booster box is like 3,500. So he profits that much. And that's to me, my opinion, that's just hurting the community. And that's my opinion, you guys. That's my perspective. That's why I don't I that's my I don't like to do that, because I want the people to enjoy Pokemon cards as much as I love Pokemon cards. But that's just my opinion. I'm gonna skip. Hi, Master Blaster. How are you? Her reaction. Oh yeah. Oh, you guys are still.
Yeah, that was from the
Oh,
bosom section.
oh my goodness. Oh wow, we caught up in the comments, or that thing just totally. I like it how people. Oh my god. Wait, shut him down. Nick's features. Nick Pokemon feature. Really? Who is this? Nick's Pokemon.
Nick strengthened Pokemon.
Really? He did.
Yeah.
Okay. Nick, he did. Nick, power and strength. Is that it? Okay. Let me know. I'm going to share my screen because I want to know. Oh, and you guys, King Gary will be joining us when we open. Ooh. Oh my God. What's up all the bodies today? Look at that. Oh my God. I'm okay. Is this probably not? This is not Nick's strength. And what is it? Oh, okay.
Pokemon.
And Pokemon. So I totally went to the wrong channel. Is this it?
Yeah.
Oh. Is this the video? Oh, sorry. Is this the video that I will like it unless he's
I don't know where you're at, but this was the guy that was saying evolutions. This was the guy that was grading all the evolutions and saying it was going to be a $10,000 box. So I think he has genuine interest, but I think there's too many folks like that are believing that it's going to go to the moon like that. It's going to be.
Yeah.
You can't lose with it. That it's a sure thing. And so I think if you bought it, sure, it's going to be fine in 10 years. But is it going to be a $10,000 box?
Mm-hmm.
Probably not. Maybe 2,000 might be, but it's those folks have that belief that you go like.
Yeah. And I just want to say, because we are talking about so much about that guy. Anyways, I just want to say there's a huge difference, because people will come back to me and says, but Anna or PokeGal, it's the free market, right? People can do whatever they do. They want to support the streamer or the channel. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
We love it. I was not born here. I was born in a different country. We need the free market. Absolutely. But there's a fine line and very strong fine line when it comes to the free market, where someone that's coming to you and relying to you because they trust you and they think that you have knowledge in the hobby. So for example, I'm just going to, it's just sitting here. Okay. I don't know how much this pack, what was it? Last time was like, I don't know, $60. I'm just going to throw it out there. Okay. If I overcharge and says, look, if you guys want to support my channel, it's $100. Okay. If I put it there on the website, $100, fine. That's the free market, right? Because it's on there. I'm not telling people to do it. But there's a fine line when someone, if I put this here for $100 and I said, this is what you need to invest in. This is the future. This is better than Tesla. It's better than Dogecoin. It's better than Bitcoin, right? And I kid you not, someone told me, the car economist said that about Pokemon, that Pokemon was a better investment than Tesla and Bitcoin to his Timmies that buy from him. Someone told me that. I don't know if it's true or not. But that is a fine line, right? That is fraud. That is completely misrepresentation right there, because someone is relying on your services. You are not a CFA. You are not a certified financial advisor. And I do finance and I do that. And I'm being very careful what my words are when I go on the stream and I say that. That's a difference between the free market, where someone's just relying on you based on you apparent knowledge in the hobby. And that's where it hurts. But anyways, we've talked about him in private before.
It is. And I think we just got I think who was it? Bulbous, who was a basic trainer. He had the Bulbasaur thing on there. He was saying that, we shouldn't cancel. I think, maybe we shouldn't call for cancel, but I think definitely more people should speak out and talk about it, and just kind of talk about how bad or basically but you could point it out basically and let it up to people. It's like, this is the community that you want to be a part of. Here's the actions that are going on with it. And you could point it out and show, what, like, if you guys want to pay for him to have a house or some crap like that, that's fine. That's on all of you. But if you're doing so under the impression, like you mentioned, that you're going to make money or invest, then that's completely false and a horrible base community off of.
Exactly. Because how do I know? Because the people that used to buy from him come to me and says, remember, I always tell you guys to say, I know I met so many people that come up to me and says they're not making money, and they're like, PokeGal, I'm not making any money. Like, why am I not making any money? I'm like, oh, and this is where the layers of it. This is where I talk about the people, the layers, right? If you, the end point and the goal point, right? It's the goal. It's for you to make money, for you to maximize the profit. That's why you're in the hobby, right? But the people, and that's where I think, I have no problem with the PokeTubers who make channels and they say like what to invest in. I said, oh, no problem, right? That's their opinion, right? And it's up to the people to do the research and what to invest in. Absolutely no problem. Where they miss the line is where they go, okay, this is what to invest in, but they don't show you how to invest in what, right? So I always go, if you want to invest in seal products, stay at MSRP. That's it. That's the best way. Never overpay. MSRP. That's it. Because if the product goes down, right, at least you break even. You don't lose. The problem is that I had someone that was paying $280 a box for Vivid Voltage. And they were just sitting there. And after that, the price kept declining. And I said to him, you know how many years they're going to keep reprinting Vivid Voltage? Do you know? And it's going to take years for even to reach 280. Right now it's about what, 220. And the more they reprint it, and they kept going to reprint. And that's how it is. It's how you invest in, how you make the money, right? Here, what people are doing is they're paying premium prices for the packs. They open it. They're paying premium for grading, paying eBay fees. Look at all the layers until they go and they get the profit. In the end, it's usually negative. But
I mean, you're talking about the packs too. Like, I think people were selling this on raffles and other stuff on Instagram.
Exactly.
It was like, this was $300, I think, on Instagram when it first came out. And to me, it's like some people are, don't hate on the hustle, don't hate on this or whatever. Like, you don't know. Like, to me, like, why in the world would you buy this at $300? I want to be a part of a raffle at $30. You could have saved your money and saved up double and bought one yourself a month or two later on. Like, how long has this been out?
Because it's the FOMO. People are terrified, and they're extremely terrified. They don't know. It's because they're new collectors that are coming in. And my friend what is it? Nick, he said, you have my consent. Joke about me all you want. He came up to me. He goes, okay, do I make money on what lizard? I know I have to make money on what lizard. I go, if I was such a bad person, I'll be like, this is Sceptile. You'll make so many money on Sceptile. Like, they're new. They need to be educated. They need to learn, right? And I feel like and that's why when I say I feel like the people that are in it for the money are winning, that's how I form all of my base of my opinion. That's how I form it.
That makes sense.
Because people are coming to me and they're like, wow, there's just, I'm like, I try to be very honest, and it's hard. But, people think that I'm against box breakers. I'm like, no, I'm not. I love it. I do box breaking. I contribute to it. I spent actually a couple here to support the streamer, but I come in not knowing that I'm going to make money. I'm going to come in because I support the streamer, and that's it. Not that I'm going to open the packs to make money. Anyways, and and there's people out there that are completely just investing, but they're living on credit card and paying off credit card bills and stuff like that. But we'll go in there. All right. I think we're almost done with the questions. Thank you so much for letting me vent you guys. Do you have any final questions? We're going to do it for another 15 more minutes. That's it.
All right.
And then we'll do the giveaway.
Ooh, what are you giving away? You hold out to the end.
I hold out. I always do. Okay. I'm going to give you for final thoughts while I set up for the giveaway. And I think we're gonna let the questions keep going, you guys, while I set it up. But I'm gonna hand to you for final thoughts. And
Okay.
it's about 2 hours and a half, I think. Good enough
Yeah.
for the stream. All right.
Yeah. So I guess final thoughts on thinking about the hobby and the direction that it's going is that, if you're here for the long term, you're going to be fine. It's waited out. Patience is definitely key. So if you're looking to make some moves, have a plan in place. What is it that you're looking to do with your hobby? Are you looking to invest? There's nothing generally wrong with investing. I think just be upfront and be honest that that's what you want, because you can lie to other people, but try not to lie to yourself as far as what your goals are in the hobby. For me, building the collection, and I have to be honest that I may not be able to rebuild all the gold stars, so I'm sticking with the EXs for now, and that's my goal. I'm going to be patient with acquiring some of the cards. Some of the cards I'm going to push very heavily for, and so have a plan in place for how you're going to go about things. Pay attention to things, be patient, do your research. And to me, the other thing is consistency. So for me, I've constantly been buying and I've constantly been submitting cards. I buy complete sets, I buy raw cards, and I keep the cards and I just hold on to them. And I think if you're in that position and you minimize your overhead, and just kind of have that, then you're going to be in a much better position to complete your goals. So, patience, consistency, and just, take an ability to step back out of the FOMO and not wear yourself out. Because I think a lot of people get burned out, and in those breaks, they lose track of things. So, see, you're into DBZ cards. I like the show, but do not have any cards. But that's basically my take on things. Is that junk slab era? Sure, there's going to be some junk slabs, maybe not an era. And focus on collecting what you enjoy and have a plan in place for what it is that you're going to do. So that's basically my final thoughts on some of the stuff going on right now. But I see PokeGal has something going on.
I do. I do. Can you guys hear me? No. Can you guys hear me? No. Can you guys hear me? No. Oh no. Oh no. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? No.
Yeah, I can.
Hisoka, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. For some reason, I thought you
Was
can't.
if you're asking me or if you're asking the audience?
Oh no. Okay. I'm gonna try this one more time. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay.
Oh yeah, I think they can. Chat's delayed, I think, right, with the live streams.
Probably. Let me try this one more time.
Oh yeah, they got you there. It's
okay.
going. Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna try this one more time, okay? Because I'm still learning. Oh, by the way, I'm on Twitch now, you guys. So I'm multi-streaming. I bought a brand new computer, and so let me know. Okay, are we good now? Can you guys hear me now?
Swami, was your wife saying for me to answer her? Or was she telling
you
cool. to answer her?
All right, Hisoka, I want you to do me a favor.
All right.
I want you to hashtag something. Hashtag whatever you like. There you go on Twitch. See? I'm on Twitch now. Nice. So all the people on Twitch can hear my vent. my tangents. So what? Oh, perfect. Thank you. Pick a hashtag, please.
All right. Hashtag EX series.
All right. Okay, you guys, to enter into this, you guys will get this. Remember, if you win, I ship it you for free. You don't have to pay for shipping. Okay, all you have to do is just type in on the comments, EX hashtag, make sure to have the hashtag EX series to enter into this giveaway. Okay, you guys? We'll open this and you guys will get this. And while I do that, I'm going to share the screen.
Yeah. Let's see if I got something here.
Oh, you can add something. Okay. I
think I have an extra one, so I'll add this to it.
What is it? I can't see.
Oh, it's EX Dragon Salamence Cosmos Hollow PSA 9.
Okay. Oh, the fire just keeps. Okay.
Should I EX for another one, or should I do it today? It's up to you. What do you want?
Let's do it now. Let's do it now. It's your show. You're gonna do the giveaway. Let's do it now. It's 12 entries, you guys. Just remember hashtag EX series exactly how you do it. We're gonna pick the winner. I'm gonna give it 30 more seconds. I'm pretty excited. Thank you for being on the stream, by the way.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me back. It's I'm getting used to it little by little, you know, being on the live stream and understanding the delay, the lag, the questions. Hopefully not have stuff in the background.
Oh, likewise. I'm still learning. I went out and I bought a brand new computer, and I told this guy the guy at Best Buy, and I said, I need the fastest computer. I need RAM, whatever that means. I need the hard drive. I went out, I got a 64 memory, SSD or whatever they call it, like one or two SSD.
Yeah.
And I got an i9 3000K sold. I loved it. I love the computer. Sold. Okay. That's it. That's all I told them. I'm like, they're like, this computer's the best. It was like about 2,900. Sold. And now it's going fast. So now I can stream up to 10 platforms. All right, you guys, good luck. 19 entries. Let's draw. This is tricky. It pretends to land on you, but it doesn't. Robert! Oh, we got a new watcher. There you go, Robert. Congratulations to you. Okay, Robert. There you go. Robert, you need to. There you go. Woo!
Nice,
I don't
congratulations.
even know what being rated means. I would like that.
Being rated? Positive or negative thing?
What is rated? I don't even know what rated is.
They're all coming together on the stream. I don't know if it's just one of those things where they show people on there and it's just like,
oh, we're being rated. Is this our first time being rated? Nice. Oh my Lord, this is so nice. Oh my God. Okay, you know what? If we are being rated, we're doing another giveaway. Oh my God. My Jessica was telling me that oh my goodness. Oh, we got it. Oh, first rate. I'm gonna share this on my Facebook. Okay, if we're being rated, we are going to give another giveaway. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. That means the channel is growing. And okay, where I had my stuff. Hold on. I'm going to give some fire. This is our first. Okay, all right. Fat Pikachu. So it'll be 2 winners. Okay, so this is for Twitch, and I know exactly. This and that. So with your giveaway is going to be attached to this one. You're going to give away that card?
I had 5 of them.
Oh my God, Robert, you just won big time. Robert,
you $170 card.
Okay, you guys. Now you get to pick first rate. That's it. Hashtag first. I like it. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy, you guys. Thank you so much. First rate. Okay, you guys, hashtag for the fat picker. Let me do this. Wow, Robert just hit it big. First rate. Oh, let me share my screen. Duh. Let's not. Well, I got a rate. Oh, okay. Did I do it correctly? No, I did not. There you go. Hashtag first rate. You guys type it in. Hashtag first rate, and we should 10 entries for the first Pikachu. Good luck, guys. Another 30 seconds. Before you do that, I'm going to open this for Robert. Robert, you need to message me on Facebook or Instagram right away. Right away. I just want to make sure that's you right away, Robert. There's no exception. I did not make an exception for this. So please message me right away, and I'm going to check my phone.
I know. See, that's the point of having a little fun with the raids. I guess you get in on it, and there's giveaways at the end. I mean, damn, Robert's lucky with that one. Oh, I think she muted herself again. Can you guys hear her? I don't hear her.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm muted. Thank you so much for the first raid, you guys. I really appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. And Robert, it's the first time. Every time it's usually someone new that wins. Dima usually wins. I have not shipped out his card yet because he always wins. So I wait for like a week and a half to ship out his card. But anyways, for the first, Robert, you need to message me on Instagram or Facebook right away. It's in the description. All right, you guys. Pikachu.
You got to hashtag that Jackie Life. Not at, but hashtag. I think it's too late.
Dim, I told you. I told you. That's why I waited.
Oh my god.
I always waited. I always wait again. Oh my god. Dude, his luck on the stream is amazing. I kid you not. Like, his luck on the stream is like nuts. That's why I waited. Dima, are you here? That's why are you here? See? See, there it is. That's why I always wait. I had that instinct. I'm like, I'm gonna wait. I know.
What the heck? Oh, everybody's probably.
He always wins. They're
happy, but they're probably pissed.
First, he won the wheel, and then he didn't win the number. And then I start doing this. He wins. He's so amazing. All right, Robert. I know what your information already, Dima. So I call for a refra. All right, you guys. First raid. Robert, you need to message me right away. I make no exception for that because people, I think that John wants to send me a message. John, is that you? Dim. Okay. Yeah. Oh, look at that. How cool is that? Ooh. Oh, I'm going to zoom in closely.
That is cool.
Oh, so I'm eventually going to sell some of my generation packs. I did a huge special for my guest. So look at this. So this is 20th and this is 25th. So do you guys see that? These, I'm sitting on 500. Okay. Maybe I sold 12. So maybe 495 or 490 packs of generation packs. Oh yeah, I'm sitting on a bunch of them. And I made a special guest, so I sit on a lot. Good luck to you. Okay. Look at that. That's so cool.
That is a lot nicer than I thought they were going to be.
You think so?
Yeah.
You get 2 packs. Oh, that's it? Oh, okay. Just regular packs. So these are just a promo. Okay, Dima, this is for him. I told you. Okay. And Dima messaged me saying, I don't want you to think I'm only here. I'm like, Dima, you know me. I always troll my guests. You know me. You've been like my biggest supporter. So good luck to you, Robert. Let's see what I can pull for you. Let me see. Okay, gold card is here. By the way, what's your thought on battle styles by any chance?
It's kind of a little boring. There's the Trinitar and the alternate art, but there's really not that much else going on to it.
Butterfeed, nope, that's it. Nothing there. This one's a dud, but you still get it sent to you regardless. Dud. Okay.
This is a cool concept. I love that the guys are doing, like, all these people are doing the raid thing, showing support. That's actually kind of
I did not know that. I'm really glad. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. It's just proof that the channel is growing. And I appreciate you guys, even all my crazy tangent that I go through, which I do go through a lot. And, oh, no, it's a complete dud. But you know what? You are the winner. The winner is that prize. Show that prize one more time, what he won. Show that prize one more time. That is nuts. Wow. Wow. Robert is probably one of the best winners of that all. Robert, let me double check to make sure it's you. Is it John? Okay. Robert, can you let me know if your name is John that you just sent me a message? Please confirm. Oh, okay. Now you're just flexing. Now you're just flexing. Perfect. Okay, that's it. Robert, that is nice. That is nice. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna be back here. I'm gonna remove myself. I shipped Wednesday, so it should be on Wednesday. That is me. Perfect. You guys, thank you so much for the stream. I'm gonna be back on tomorrow to do my live breaks. There's Z. Z's gonna get some luck soon, and we're gonna go from there. And I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being a great guest. And that is such a hot giveaway. Yeah. Wow.
Well, that is such a hot giveaway. I'll talk to you later and you can send me the details and I will put it out to them.
I will. Bye everyone. Have a great night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna go restock some box. Bye everyone. Take care. Bye. Bye.